I really gotta get to work on Ray's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm way bigger than Kobe. After I got the head kick knockout, this is a dream come true. Just like don't be in Machado.
So what's a whack?
Wife and girlfriend. I hope he wins. Like, I don't want him to lose until I fight him. You know, reality TV show and like
Kevin Holland, the big mouth.
they knock him out or choke him out. One or the other, dude. I'm putting them away. I'm finishing them one way or another. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight everyone from 1 to 15. I would be surprised if he would. Like, once again, I don't think he would take a fight against me. Thing is, with these like freelance fighters, dude, people add extra on these guys. You know what I'm saying? They give these guys these mistakes. You know.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Dropouts Podcast. I am here, your host, Samaj Sinclair, and we got the co-host to the right of me, the one, the only, Bleezes. What's going on?
It's your boy Bleezes. How we doing?
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we got a very, very special guest, the ultimate fighter champion, future UFC champion, the one and only.
Bryan the Butcher Battle, man.
Let's go.
Thanks for having me today, fellas.
I'm gonna say you go down, bro.
Let's get right into it, man. How'd you get into fighting, and like, what started this?
Man, it's funny, right? Because I just started off as like a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like in high school, I was playing football, I was playing basketball. I thought about wrestling. I started watching UFC in like ninth grade, like late 8th grade, early 9th grade. And it was like I fell in love with the sport, but it's like I had no way to, you know what I'm saying? In between what we were doing, I had 5 sisters, so like changing up the schedule to start like taking classes, and I didn't even know what that even meant at that time. You know what I'm saying?
5 sisters.
Yeah, I got 5 sisters.
You the only boy?
Only boy, dude.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oldest, youngest, or in between?
In between.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got a gang of sisters, dude.
I bet they got your back.
Yeah, always. But
No wrestling or anything before this
no
fight?
wrestling, man. No wrestling, no karate. I took one karate class one time when I was like 6. I loved the karate class. I loved it so much that I went to the next karate class. Sick. Like, I knew I was sick. But I went to this karate class, and we were doing this like hand braking drill. And so, like, I'm, like, wrist to wrist with this kid. Like, we're, like, in close proximity, and I just, like, projectile vomited on him. And so my parents never took me back to karate. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
That is wild.
So yeah, no, I had, like, no experience going into... So when I did finally start training, I was, like, 21, but I had, like, some money because I had some job, and, had enough time, and so I finally, like, it was like a bucket list thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched Robbie Lawler fight Roy McDonald in the second fight for the title, and I was like, they just had like a contest to see who was the bigger man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
Growing up on anime and stuff like that, like, that stuff was like, certain fights are like almost spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, their body's there, their like mind is there, the technique is there. And it comes down to just like who wants it more, you know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, I gotta test myself, so I gotta at least do one fight, you know what I'm saying? I was like, and I'll just keep on going until I lose, you know what I'm saying? That was my idea. Like, I was like, I'll do one fight, I'll keep on going until I lose. And my first fight, I got knocked out. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? Maybe we'll reset that.
So that's your very first fight you got knocked out.
Very first fight.
Was it professional or like amateur?
Amateur.
So what was that like? I mean, that's like the one thing people like, fuck, what if I get knocked out?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Because, like, inside the gym, I had, like, a little bit of hype going in, like, making my debut, you know what I mean? And, like, at the time, I was a heavyweight, so, like, I was 240 pounds, but I was, like, pretty mobile, you know what I'm saying? And it was funny, because I saw the guy that I was fighting, and when I first saw him, he had his shirt off, and he looked like, he looked like kind of, because he was about, like, 5'9", you know what I'm saying? Maybe 5'10", you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, he's kind of like on the shorter, fatter end, you know what I mean? But then he took off his shirt, and he had like those protruding abs, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked like an absolute, like, tank.
Rick
You know what I'm
Ellis.
saying? I was like, oh, you know, he like when he was at the limit, he was like 265, like cutting weight. You know what I mean?
Shit, yeah.
And so it was going good, and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, this is for all the young fighters out there. If your coaches are telling you something, you get away with it. One day you're not gonna get away with it. And I always had this over exaggerated head movement. He was avoid punches, and so the whole thing is like, yo, you gotta get kicked to the head, you keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but I never stopped because I always got away with it. You know what I'm saying? And then in my first fight, you know what I'm saying, it's like I don't even think this kick, because that's the one thing we saw. We were like, okay, this guy's not gonna be able to kick me in the head. He's like this like small tank of a dude, but I'm leaning over, kind of like Ali's head kick. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning over so far to get out of the way of the punch. I went right into the kick, and like it went like low key viral. Like Dan Henderson was reposting it. Like Greg Jones. Oh no, not Greg Jones. Who's the guy that Coach John Jones out of New Mexico? Jackson. Greg Jackson. He reposted it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
And so yeah.
Where was this fight?
It was in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, so head kicks were allowed.
Yeah, head kicks were. Yeah, 100% legal.
North Carolina's not, or what? Thinking about that.
Yeah, it depends state to state. It's like our boy just knocked someone the fuck out with the head kick, but it was in a state where you weren't supposed to. He didn't even try to. The kid literally leaned right into it, but he still got DQ'd.
That's like amateur rules. Pro rules are generally the same everywhere, but amateur rules, yeah, it's state to state. You know what I mean? So yeah. Some states you can elbow any people in the head as an amateur. Some states like Georgia, if you don't have 3 fights, you can't do ground and pound.
At all?
At all. No, if you take someone down, it's basically a grappling match. Until you get to, you have to wear shin guards, 2 double-outs.
Oh, like submission. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, once you get past 3 fights, then you can do ground and pound. You know what I'm saying? But before that, you can't do ground and pound. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So,
How quick of a knockout was it? Was it like just out real quick, or were you like out?
I was out. Like, I don't remember. Like, I was standing there, but I don't remember them doing. Like, I got back to the locker room, and when I came to, the first thing I said, I was like, I was confused. I was like, why are we back in the locker room? I thought I walked out for the fight. So I asked my coach, I was like, hey, what happened? And it was Tom, and he was like, you got knocked the fuck out. That's what it was like. And, you know, he's like, because I've asked him so many times at this point, you know what I'm saying? He's just over it. You know what I'm saying? He's past the point of, like, you know, trying to nurse me through it. I mean, he said, you've asked me this like 13 times. And I was like, oh, damn. So it was pretty bad, but, you know, we bounced back. Some was all right. It was bad as it could get. So, you know, it's good because, and yeah, it was like right at the end of the first round, you know what I'm saying? So, it was great because, you know, you just start from rock bottom.
Yeah.
So you just build yourself up from there, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people would have just quit, bro.
Honestly, because you said you wanted to do just one fight and stop and you lost. So how did
you win?
Yeah, how did that happen?
No, it is like, and with saying that, I plan on winning a lot of fights before I lose. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't go out like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I really no bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, have one fight and get knocked out? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have that be when people like Google Bryan Battle. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that pops up. So I was like, okay, you know, we'll get back to it. You know, we won the next 8 fights in a row. We got one of the top-ranked amateurs in the country, you know what I mean? You know, I was fucking went pro, and, you know, the rest is history, you know what I mean?
So, but that second fight, what was that second fight like? Just just knowing, like, okay, the only other time I was in here, I got knocked the fuck out.
Man, dude,
let's go back in.
My second fight, it was funny because the guy, I don't know how to say it, right? Because the second fight was at 205. When I lost the first fight, I was like, okay, I'm going down to 205. So I'm go down to 205. The guy I fought, though, he had like a very, it's hard to describe his leg, right? Like, it wasn't like a normal leg. You know what I'm saying? So, like, on one hand, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Am I going to get in there and, like, absolutely, like, run through this basically handicapped person? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
fuck. He had a little leg?
Like, it was like, it was noticeable. Like, his leg was not like a normal leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was skinny right here. Like he walked kind of weird and stuff like that. But then on the flip side, like my last fight, I just got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I got like comic book logic. Where I'm like, okay, if his legs are like that, how strong is he? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like if he touches me one time in the chin, am I gonna go into like space? Am I gonna like? And so I'm like, man, I can't lose. You know, this person who has like this clear, because we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I had one amateur fight. He didn't have any tape. You know what I'm saying? We show up to the weigh-in, see what he looks like. He came in at 195 for a 205 fight. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go lose some more weight, even though I was all weight. It was goofy as hell. And yeah, I put him away in the first round with like a rear naked choke. But now it was definitely like, because, you know, once you get knocked out, you're kind of like, you don't know. Like, finding out where, like, the extent of your chin is pretty important, you know what I'm saying? Because that affects your confidence with being able to strike and, like, you know, being able to absorb contact. Because, I mean, you know, at some point, you kind of have to, like, figure that out, you know what I mean? But at that point, like, I thought I had no ability to, you know, I was, like, terrified of being knocked out, you know what I'm saying? Even more now than before, so that was the interesting thing going into that second fight, but, you know. It was fun. That was the fight where the Pooh Bear nickname started too.
Pooh Bear. Yeah. What is that? What's the Pooh Bear thing?
So there's nothing real behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so Taco, back when Taco was still active, Taco the one of our team. He said he we were just talking junk. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, but it wasn't Taco, it was John Ryan. I was talking junk to this guy named John Ryan. And he ran out of like, you know, good comebacks, you know what I'm saying? I was on his ass, you know what I'm saying? And he looked at me, he's like, okay, Pooh Bear. And Taco, like, laughed a little bit. I was, like, a heavier set at the time. I had, like, a buzz cut, you know what I'm saying? I'm light-skinned, you know what I mean? And I was like, hey, yo, don't call me Pooh Bear, bro. Because I know how those, like, things kind of start, you know what I mean? But the thing is as soon as I said that, then it was, like, locked in, you know, people started.
It's always right?
He said, "Yo, don't."
Yeah. And then for that fight, the second fight, the guy who's doing the ring announcement, he's coming around making sure he's pronouncing everyone's names right. He's calling to each corner individually. So he comes over, he's like, Bryan Battle. I was like, yeah, I didn't put anything in the nickname. I didn't like the Pooh Bear nickname, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't put anything down. And so he said, Bryan Battle. I said, yes, sir. And then one of the old coaches at ISN, Kevin, he leaned over and he goes, the worst whisper ever. He goes, his nickname's Pooh Bear. The announcer, he was like, are you shitting me right now? And he was like, no. He's like, that's the best fucking thing I've heard all day. And then they went back and they had all these, during the fight, they had all these, like, Winnie the Pooh puns. It was, like, really funny. So after that, I was, all right, cool, I'll ride with this nickname for a little bit. So we had to get it out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Got it out of there.
You've been butchering people, so I definitely think it's fair to
You know what I'm saying? We're killing people. Right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that it is. We're killing people. Yeah, we're gonna keep on killing people. But you know, that's just this. It's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's either like kill or be killed. You know what I mean? And then people don't want to see. I don't know. I feel like there's certain ways to fight to win that aren't like really fun. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to like fight and not have fun. You know.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, like, cause there's like safer ways to fight, you know what I mean? And you could just kind of like impose yourself on someone, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, it's like you're winning, but you're not taking any chances the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like that's like the whole fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of
never gonna get those spiritual battles. That
you know what I'm saying? Like you're not really like trading skills and seeing who's like.
No, I feel like that's like that. It's almost like Muay Thai-esque.
Yeah.
Like how they just be in the pocket. Like, yo, this also has to be entertaining. Like, not just like getting points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because it's like, I mean, at the root of it, it's like, what are we simulating? Like a fight, you know what I'm saying? If you take away all the rules and stuff like that, and you take away the referee, you know what I mean? Like, the fight only ends when someone's like finished. You know what I'm saying? And so it's only because we had to like, for the sake of you know, regulating it and making it like an official sport. You have to put rules on it. You have to have time limits. You have to bring judges in and stuff like that. You know, people's like subjective opinions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, I think you should go out there, try to kill each other. That's my humble opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
Truly see who the best is. You know, that's one thing you always say in your tough season is when you're about to fight somebody, you're like, I hope I get the best of this person. Yeah, that was one thing that always stood out to me because, like, you know, some people are like, they just want to get through that fight type of shit. But you want to get through that fight and you want to see the best at that fight kind of thing, you know?
Well, yeah, there's no excuses, and then like the best is almost gotta make you better. But I mean, that's if you watch the tough season, that's like an example of that. My first fight, like it was a very safe fight. You know what I'm saying? I like just danced around. I kind of picked and prodded. You know what I'm saying? I outpointed him, and it was like the whole objective was to kind of dance around and pick and prod it. Don't take any damage before the next fight. But it's like I hate that fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't like really watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many times where it's like, damn, dude, I could have just absolutely killed him right there. You know what I mean? And it's just, but it's like overly cautious, playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? And so you get the win, but it's not. There's nothing special about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like it's there. You know, it happened. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that people remember. You know what I mean? So
I hear you for sure.
That's the second fight.
That motherfucker had a hard ass head.
He did have a hard head, bro. He did have a hard head, but he still should have gone to sleep. 100%. He had a hard head, but he definitely should.
There was one point where he had his hands down, just walking at him, and he hit him with like a right, a left, a right, and a head kick, and he was still just walking at him.
This like fucking zombie.
Yeah, but that was before I knew how to like actually like knock people out with the kicks. Like I knew how to like get them there. Like I knew how to land head kicks. Like if you go back and watch like before UFC tape, like I land a ton of head kicks, but I never knocked anyone out. It was really bothering me. Like me and Tom, we had to like buckle it down and like work on my kicks. So I was like actually like driving through instead of just like getting them there. Cause that was really like that's another example. It's like I should have sat down on that kick and absolutely knocked his
holding him.
But you know whatever. You know,
those are the points where you learn too, you know.
Facts.
For sure.
Facts.
That's crazy to me. Just hearing you say that you were always on these head kicks being like 240 fucking pounds.
Oh yeah, dude. I was like nimble at the 240, dude. Like I was like bouncing and everything like that. Like I was like Cyril Gahn, just like not actually that big. You know what I'm saying? That's always the prop. It's like I wasn't actually a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense that I did stuff that heavyweights normally didn't do, but I also wasn't a real heavyweight. You know?
Mm-hmm. Like, so did you grow up just kind of like bigger, or like around that time did you just balloon up and then decide like let me start fighting and some shit?
Well, I would say my family's definitely like big boned-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like you've seen my dad before, you know what I'm saying? He's a big tankable like white dude. Like he's bigger than me, you know what I mean? And like when I was in high school, I got up to like 270, you know what I mean? That was just playing football. The conditioning in football wasn't enough to start playing basketball. I kind of got down to 240. That's where I hung out. But then after high school ended, I stopped playing sports. Then, I just like blew up, you know. So I got to like 300 pounds. Then I went to the highest stand for the first time. And then before I signed up, I like lost because I almost threw up in my first class. So I like just joined Planet Fitness and lost some more weight and then joined over there. And I was still 280, but I got down to like 240 without trying or anything. Like I wasn't dieting or anything. I was just like training like a crazy man. You know? So,
what was it like the first time you went into a gym where you like were fighting with like people who were like skilled fighters?
It's definitely like it's funny because you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like people seem bigger than they really are. You know what I'm saying? Everything seems like it's happening so fast, and like there's things happening. Like my first time rolling with somebody, it was this guy Sensei Smash. You know what I'm saying? He was big dude, and we were rolling, and this was right when I first joined the gym, and I knew I didn't win the round, right? I knew he won, he was transitioning and doing things, but I didn't tap, you know what I'm saying? I took that L. I was like, man, this guy, he's teaching, he's been training forever, he didn't tap me, you know what I'm saying? I must be like some kind of prodigy, you know what I'm saying? And then, but then a month goes by and we learn about leg locks, you know what I'm saying? And then as we're doing the leg locks and they're explaining them, like my brain goes back to that moment because I've basically built my confidence off of this base as a place of like yeah, I can grapple, you know what I'm saying? And like they show these leg locks and I think back, I was like, oh, he caught me in like 4 different heel hooks and just let go because I was you know what I'm saying? I was too dumb to like protect myself and like tap out, you know what I'm saying? And so it's funny, like everything's so fast, you know what I'm saying? You get humbled really fast, but it's also like so exciting, you know what I'm saying? It's like this whole new world, you know what I mean? So it was definitely like I was pretty excited about it. Like I was pretty jazzed up. Like I knew pretty quickly that that's what I wanted to spend most of my time doing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to high stand, that's what it's called, and then you opened Carolina Combat. Is that after Tough, or how did like Carolina Combat come?
So Tom opened CCS a little while after Tough, and it was just yeah, that's a funny story. I mean, so like off the rip, like when I first started training, my goal, like after we got past the first 2 fights, you know what I'm saying, I started training, like it wasn't a bucket list anymore. I was like, my goal was to get to the next level, as irrational as that sounded. And Tom, his dream was always to coach someone at the next level, you know what I'm saying? That was like both of our, like we connected on that. It's like both, like I had aspirations to get to the next level, he had aspirations to coach someone at the next level, you know what I mean? And the other coaches, you know what I'm saying, they were good dudes, you know what I'm saying, like great for those early years, but for them it was like, I mean, honestly, like more of a side thing, you know what I'm saying, something, they did it, but it wasn't like something where like they weren't serious about
Breeding in UFC.
Doing what was necessary to do that. And so it really kind of, when COVID hit, that's when like shit hit the fan and you're like, okay, like what are we doing, you know what I'm saying? And Tom stepped up like in big ways during that time, you know what I'm saying, working with the fighters. He was the head of the fight team, you know what I'm saying, he was really the only coach doing things with the fight team. And like everyone had their roles, you know what I'm saying, every coach had their things, and that's kind of like what they did. And then after I got back from Tough, that's when things kind of started changing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed like it was it's like people's intentions, like it's like might have been good, but it was like there was definitely a little bit of entitlement going on, and just a lot of people were just on different pages, you know what I'm saying? So when Tom wanted to open up his own spot, because he was just getting to a point where it was like there was like a lot of tension between him and the other head guy, you know what I mean? And so, he went and opened up his own spot, you know what I'm saying? Me and a lot of the fighters went with him, because it was like I said, if anyone had been there for an extended period of time, he knew who, like, was the coach, you know what I'm saying? Right. And so, we went over there, and it's like, we've been doing our thing over there, and it's like, we've been having a lot of success ever since, you know what I'm saying? Kind of streamlining things, kind of cutting out some unnecessary stuff, and really dialing in on the things that we've seen like work, you know what I mean? And so, it's paid a lot of dividends, you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate how this split happens sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because there's still some hard feelings about all that. But it was definitely necessary. It's like you can see, right? Even if you look at the fight team record before the split happened versus the fight team record since, it's pretty like eye opening. You know what I'm saying? On both ends of the spectrum, like their fight team record and our fight team record. So,
I mean, that's definitely one thing I learned from him, like about gyms. I would just assume, if you were a gym, you wanted to train someone to get to the next level. But that was something like he had to learn at the first gym he went to was more of like a family gym aspect,
We're just some gym owners who's entrepreneurs.
Right.
yeah,
In a sense,
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a big, like, there's a lot of demand for a gym like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like someone who has a full-time job who just wants to learn how to defend themselves and get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Can go and get work and then, not to mention like outside of fighting, the things you get out of training, like if you're at a good gym with like a healthy social environment, the friends you can develop, you know what I'm saying, the relationships you build, how much self growth you can go through from training, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely different avenues for different mixed martial arts kinds of gyms, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, like our gym just happens to be a gym that's focused on, competition.
Yeah.
Takes a certain kind of dedication to build the fighter to that,
One of the things I really liked about TCS was like when I was in there, usually like there's like a lot of people in a gym and then there's like a few fighters, but it seemed like there was a lot of fighters and like just a few people that were training. I was like, okay, it's a good place to be.
Well, it's like, and even the people who aren't fighters, you know what I'm saying?
Are still fucking good.
Yeah, they're still solid, you know what I mean? There's not, like, what I appreciate, there's not a whole lot of fluff, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, honestly, even the people who don't fight there are still competitive.
Yeah.
Like, they still compete in a thing.
Yeah, or capable of competing in things. So, it's good. I love the gym. You know what I'm saying? I love the environment. You know what I'm saying? All the people that are there. It's a good way of like weeding out people that wouldn't like mesh, because it's like if that's not what you're into, like you'll come one day and like be gone the next. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna stick around. So, yeah, man, gym, fucking love that place, dude.
So you said something about how like the gym in general is just like a good place for people with mental clarity, etc. What got you in there, man? I feel like everyone who fights or has aspirations to fight, like there's more than like I just want to like fight. Or was it just that simple? You were like, I just want to fight, or did you feel like it was just like something deeper than that?
I think it's like a combination. You know what I'm saying? Like I think on one hand, it's like I've always watched anime. You know what I'm saying? I've always been kind of like aggressive leaning. Like I like always like soft spoken outside of, but it's like I would love to wrestle and like always talk about doing Fight Club with the boys in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? But then so yeah, I've always had a desire to fight in some way, but then on top of that, I've always wanted to do something like not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like even at the cost of like making money. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to do something boring. You know what I'm saying? I want to do something. Cool. I want to like be great at it. You know what I mean? So, fighting kind of gave me that attitude. It was like I was like, I felt like I could be good at it, you know what I mean? So, I'm saying we just keep on getting better and better at it. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
You said you started at 21.
Yeah.
What was your like just life situation at then? Like are you living on your own? You're living with your parents? I know you got a son now. Like what's the whole life situation at that point?
You had a son.
Yeah, I had a son. I had him right after I won Tough. Before that, so when I first started training, I lived with my parents, but I only lived with them for like a month, and then I moved into a house with two of my bros. You know what I'm saying? One guy who was getting a house, he was like, "You guys should get the other rooms." You know what I'm saying? And so we didn't get the other rooms. We shared one room. You know, we split rent on that motherfucker. But that house, I was in that house with rotating roommates for like about 4 years, 3, 4 years. You know what I mean? And I can't lie, that shit was. We had a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very bachelor, very like frat housey. You know what I'm saying? It's like a bunch of bros living in a house. Yeah, and then so yeah, fighting. Yeah, no, I was super broke, like just living in a house with like rotating roommates until I met my wife, and then eventually we got married. We moved in together, and it wasn't long after that I went on. We got married in December. I went on tough. I think like April, April, Mayish. I can't remember. So it was pretty. Like we got married. She got pregnant. I went on tough. I got back from tough. Won tough. She had the baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's like good timing. That's
How long was it tough?
Tough was 4 weeks. That we were actually in the house. 4 weeks that we were actually in the house.
How was that living with people that you know you're gonna fight like in a very short period of time? Were people like, keeping cool at first, or like just didn't give a fuck?
Dude, I can only speak for my season,
Of course.
but you go in and you're like, I don't need any friends. I'm not making friends, bro. Especially not my weight class. Fuck all these guys.
Especially there, bro. Sometimes you fight teammates. You never know, man.
Yeah, no, facts. But literally within like the day, like we're on the shuttle riding over to the house, and it's just like you're literally in a house full of dudes that do the same thing you do. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like it's impossible not to become buddies. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you can't do it. There's no TV. There's no internet. There's no phones. The only books you could bring are the Bible or the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's gonna be straight.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like they got mad at us. They gave us some cards because you could request some things. So they gave us some cards, and the producer one time he came and he got upset at us because we were playing cards, and he was like, "Yo, listen, I know you guys have been training, you've been doing this stuff all day, and you just kind of want to relax, play cards, but I've seen this happen before. This isn't good TV." He's like, "You guys sitting here playing cards isn't good TV." And I remember I got so angry, like, because there's the other thing is like the smallest thing, because there's nothing else to kind of grab your attention, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like normally, like if something petty, you can kind of brush it off because you got other things to worry about. You know what I'm saying? You got more important things to make you worry about. But in there, all you got is what's happening inside that little fucking house. So it's like the smallest thing. At least for me, I got like set off by like the tiniest little thing. So him coming over and telling us to like not just play cards, but it was whatever. We just kind of like, we would sit down, create questions to ask each other. We would play the cards, stop for a second. Someone would ask someone questions, say about each other's lives, and we would like answer the question. Then we'd play a couple more hands, and we would stop. So we would ask someone else one of these questions, and we would just do that every night. So they would leave us alone.
Happy medium.
right. So they'll give you some fucking TV and you let it play.
So yeah, if you ever go back and watch it after the stuff, like at least my team when we're having conversations is while we're playing cards. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was cool. No, it was funny because Cameron, that first guy I fought, like the day before we fought each other, he was making some food. I was like, yeah, that smells good. He was like, yeah, you want some? And I was just like, this is so weird. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you're used to the day before. It's like, if you do know the person, you're not like seeing them or hanging out with them. You're like, it's easy to villainize a person when you're not like constantly there with them. You know what I'm saying? So if
Now someone tried to break bread with you.
yeah, I mean, well, it's like,
if you want to yeah. hungry.
it's kind of like one of like, it's like, you look at like on the grander scale, it's like most of hate and prejudice comes from like just not knowing whatever you have a prejudice against, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're in that house, normally it's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy, it's like he's trying to beat me right now. But it's like, in reality, it's like, is he trying to beat you? Yeah. Yeah, does he want to beat you and technically take food off your family's table? Yeah, but it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? More often than not, you know what I'm saying? There's generally a cool dude that you can be friends with. You know what I'm saying? If you actually like talk to him and have a conversation with him. So that's kind of like the eye-opening part about being in the house is like, you know, most of that stuff is just made up. You know what I'm saying? TV, or just in general, hype. You know what I'm saying? Like fighters do it, you know, in our own heads. But the reality is, like, you probably 9 times out of 10, you'd probably be buddies with the person you're fighting. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Facts.
So after Tough, right? Do you feel like it was different when you came back?
Yeah. It was definitely. There's definitely been like certain flashpoints in the career where there's been like big jumps in like my notoriety as a person, like how people like treated me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's crazy because like perception's reality, right? Like I'm the same guy I was 3 years ago, but it's just like people perceive me a little bit differently now because of like some success that I've had that they could see. But it's like everything I've done like in regular life and who I am just generally as a person hasn't changed, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's like Tough happens. There's a difference. I probably would say after I got the head kick knockout, it went up a bunch, you know what I'm saying? And then after UFC Charlotte, it went up a bunch, you know what I'm saying? And how people just treat you and their perception of you, you know what I'm saying? Their perception of me. So, yeah, man. But yeah, Tough was definitely one of the bigger ones, you know what I'm saying? Just like, even though it wasn't on ESPN, the fact that it was like a, you know, reality TV show and like, you know, the history of the show, even though it's not nearly as big as it used to be, just like the history of it being able to say you were on Tough. So
A lot of the biggest or most tough champions become champion. A lot of
them, but a lot of them have totally flopped too. You know?
True. I mean, it's because that's before they would rise people up so fast. You know what I mean? It was an entertainment, and they had to make it an entertainment sport back then. Now they have so much talent, they can sort of, you know, slow it a bit.
No, they can slow it a bit, and it's like the Contender Series is definitely overshadowed it a lot. Like a lot of people call me a Contender Series show guy. Like, no, I had to fight 3 times, bro. Like, don't fully in there with those guys. But
what's the difference?
The Contender Series, you fight 1 time, and they either give you a contract
For like one fight, right?
No, you know, I want to say it's like a 4-fight deal, probably either a 2-fight or a 4-fight deal. It's like
But you only have to fight once.
you fight that one night, and then that night you figure out if you get the contract or not. Like a bunch of people fight this one card, the Contender Series card, and they do it. They have a season every year. Well, it's like every night it's different fights, different people. That's how they fill their roster out mostly now. And that's how a lot of people prefer it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what like Sean O'Malley. That's how he got on.
That's how he got.
That makes so much sense because Snoop was there.
Oh
Yeah. So Mike.
That makes okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like Tough. You know what I'm saying? You're in a house. You know what I'm saying? And you fight. If you win, you fight 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And that's if you're in a split weight class. Like sometimes, like it's not split. You got to fight like 5 times to win the title. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But problem is like there's been some because Contender Series guys, you're kind of like they come in a lot and it's just like an easy way to get in, and it's like if a Contender Series guys flops, it's not nearly as noticeable as like a Tough person flopping because it's like the audience generally, like if you watch Tough at all, like you know them a little bit more, and it was like this is a tough champion. Like they announce you as the Tough champion, you know. They don't announce you as a Contender Series veteran. They announce you as the Tough champion. And then you like lose, it just looks bad. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of people who won Tough that went on to like do. There's been a lot of guys who've won Tough and gone on to win titles, but there's been a lot of guys who've won Tough and went on to do like jack shit. So, you know, it's like a mixed bag. You know?
For sure. What was it? How was it training with Volk?
Dude, Volk was the fucking man. Dude, Volk was so cool. I remember on the question on the not the question on the evaluation day. You know, Ortega, he was there with Tiki, and then I forget the other coach's name. But he was an older gentleman in classes. He was in like one of the first UFCs. But Volk, he pulled up and he had Craig Jones on his squad. I recognized a couple of the guys from the China Muay Thai team, you know what I'm saying? Frank and Woody. And so I'm just looking over there, I'm like, damn, it looks like a really cool coaching staff, you know what I'm saying? So Ortega and his guys, they were like, literally, they would come up to us and they'd be like, whose team do you want to be on? They're like ganged up around you. Like, oh, him and his two coaches, they're like, what team do you want to be on? You're like, huh? They're like, you want to be on our team or do you want to be on that team? And you're like, well, I'm just excited for the opportunity. They're like, yeah, no, but which team do you want to be on? And it was just like really awkward. And I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are trying to punk me right now. I was like, well, dude, they got Craig Jones over there. That's like what I told her. I was like, dude, they got Craig Jones over there. I got a better looking coach now to be on their team. And so I don't know if that had anything to do with Ortega not picking me, but it was, Volk was just like him, the professionalism he displayed, and like I tell a lot of people before I got on Tough, I got really like complacent with how I fought. You know what I'm saying? I just did whatever I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I stopped really like caring about like how it looked. You know what I mean? But watching Volk, it was crazy because he literally did everything that our coaches tell us to do. We do all these drills, and it's like if you do all these drills, it's so hard to like actually do that. Like the time and the amount of drilling and the amount of focus it takes to like execute these things and get it into your subconscious so you can do it without like thinking. It takes a lot of time. It's really tedious. But Volk did all those things. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. Fainted, moved laterally, threw in combinations up and out the body. You know what I'm saying? Hit all three levels of the body and being able to change levels. And it was just like, it was weird. Like watching it in person is kind of like awe-inspiring. Like you just watch it and you're just like mesmerized by like how effortless it looked. You know what I'm saying? How perfect it was. And so it was just kind of like, okay, well, if you want to be great, like that's the standard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he raised the bar for me because it's like I actually saw someone doing everything that they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's what it takes to be great. And so, yeah, I didn't get to actually learn a whole lot from him because I was at fight camp the whole time. So that's the downside to winning, you know what I mean? But just being around him and like feeling his energy and like just getting to see what a champion's like, not just a champion, but like a pound for pound, like top guy, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you get to move around with him?
A little bit, not too much, because obviously, like, he's a featherweight and I was a middleweight at the time. But we did this thing called a fight simulator. I think we did it on, like, the very first day we did it. We all went through the fight simulator. And there's a point where, like, we're light sparring Volk in the fight simulator. And I remember the first day, like I said, like, I was really aggressive and I had, like, a really plotting style, you know what I'm saying? And I could not touch him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would throw a jab and he would swivel around my arm like a snake and hit me with a combination and then be gone before I could hit him with anything else. And it was just like, I was like, he made me look stupid, you know what I'm saying? And so, as the time went on, I was able to like adjust a little bit and like kind of do much better. But it was, once again, it was like, yo, this featherweight just fucking schooled my ass. I didn't touch him at all. Like, it was like, you know, it's like one of those moments you're like, oh, this was this, you know what I'm saying? For it all. No, Volk was a man. He still is a man, dude.
That's awesome. You guys still like in any form of connection, or is just on this champ shit?
No, dude. Like if I message him, he'll like message back. Like, he's cool. He's always responsive. Like if I ask him a question, he'll answer it. I'm just like a terrible communicator. So I should like all that whole coaching staff. They're all like really cool dudes who like are willing to like talk to you and give you help anytime you need it. And I'm just like I said, a horrendous communicator. So it's like I don't take as nearly as much advantage as I should, but No, they're super cool. They'll respond. If any of the boys hit up, they will respond.
That's what's up. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's a little off topic, but there's been some crazy shit going on recently.
Uh-oh.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, man.
Uh-oh. I know what you're talking about, bro.
So the one and only Ian Gary.
Yeah.
It's the whole wag. The whole shebang, man. The whole shebang. I'll you wanna tell it?
No, I'll let you go.
Okay. Alright.
You got a little bit more close to the source.
I don't know the story for sure. But you know, if you guys don't know what's going on and you live under a rock, I doubt you don't know what's going on and you're watching this right now, but fucking bros. So what's a wag? A wag's a shorty who like is older who gets a young athlete.
A wife and girlfriend.
Wife and girlfriend.
That's the acronym. I hope that's the one.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. A wife and girlfriend, and it's like, yeah, they're females who target athletes, like at games and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So they can get, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and latch themselves onto a young athlete on the way up who's going to make a lot of money so that, you know, they can live off of that athlete for making all the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad business model.
So the shorty literally, but not even figuratively, literally wrote the book on this shit, on how to do this shit.
Supposedly she was a wife before to a guy, and
Supposedly she was.
they had the last name that he took her last name essentially. So now they share the old husband's last name.
The last name, that's his wife's maiden name.
Okay.
So that's not not her ex-husband's name.
What is it? What is that?
So that is her real last name.
That's like her father's last name.
Okay. So that's his last. That's his last name.
That would be total.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know he still took her last name, which I always thought I thought it was a nickname for a while. I was like, I wonder what Machado was a nickname for, and it's like, no, that's his old lady's.
So he's not even Ian Gary.
Ian Machado Gary.
I thought it was a nickname too.
Yeah,
I
me
too. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't get rid of his. I thought he got rid of his.
Nah.
That he was like no longer Gary. Like.
No. He's Ian Machado Gary. That is the name, because they did it because she had a son before they got together, so he did that so that they could all be one.
That's cute. That's cute.
It's cute. It's a nice reason. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice reason. Like,
yeah, that was nice. So, all right, man. Like the internet right now is going crazy on this guy. It's one of those things where
That's
like,
weird though.
What's weird?
Because I come from I have a stepfather and he has a different last name than me.
Yeah.
And like growing up, one thing like him taking the role of being my father, I was like, maybe I'll take his last name. But like him doing the opposite is almost like I'm your dad.
Yeah,
You know, like your wife.
That's crazy. That is different.
yeah.
That is different. But yeah, man, like so this his story is interesting, you know, like I pretty much know him because he's Irish. Like, you know. Yeah. Like
I mean, that's why he first popped off.
For sure.
And, you know, he started having some good performances. But then he also started like, why I think part of the reason this is blowing up so much is like, if he was like a cool dude, this wouldn't be blowing up so much, but he's like a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been a dickhead to in UFC Charlotte, he was fighting D-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
And D-Rod always, I guess he's notorious for having hard weight cuts, and so he was leaving pizza at Antonio doors, like knocking on so they would come out.
To let them pop jollies.
Yeah.
Didn't he miss weight that fight too?
I think it was. Or, but I think
He ate some pie.
you can't even be mad at him at that point.
he had Jeff Neal's bunk shot on his shirt, which is like, it's like, come on, bro, that's not that. But it's like one of those things you're saying, okay, fair game, you know what I'm saying? You do all those things, but like, when people figure out your old lady wrote a book on how to be a wag, and you know, you live with her ex-husband, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna get kind of brazen. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get wild. You know what I mean? That's what happened. You know what I mean?
And he's not taking the heat well.
No.
He can dish it, but the motherfucker cannot take it.
Yeah, what do? He turns comments off, I heard.
Yeah, and turn his comments off.
Tiramisu,
Sean Strickland, yeah.
Oh man, do you see the song?
yeah.
Song?
Yeah.
Oh, there's this
Who made a song?
You don't know who Froggy Fresh is, do you?
Yeah.
He changed Krispy Kreme. Like, he's
Krispy Kreme? I know, yeah. Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. So he made a song about
This whole situation.
this whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. That was fun.
So hold on. This one get copyrighted.
I didn't know he had rebranded.
It's YouTube. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I thought that could be.
Audio, watch out now. There's a cougar down there. She got herself in chaos. The damn shite. Somebody say it again, cause I'm gonna steal it. 40-year-old don't be here. You see this lane while the rain hits the place. Everybody, this is stage, this is suicide.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot happening.
I can see.
Crazy on this man, dude. They've been going crazy.
But you and him have had your little back and forth. I've seen. You gotta explain the situation a little bit, because honestly, I saw some videos that he posted,
Yeah.
but I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, it is. So it goes back. So it was like once the one again. It's like I know him because he was like this Irish guy that like people are like, oh, the next one guy would, you know what I'm saying? And so I knocked out Takashi with a head kick. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call him out. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. You know what I mean? So I called him out. And after that, he made a video. It was a corny ass video, dude. It was a corny ass response to my call out. You know, basically, you know, trying to paint the picture that he's just like living his life. He's not concerned at all, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how I interpret it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm still kind of confused. It was a really lame, corny video. And then later, we're both on the UFC Charlotte card. And the first thing I wanted to do when I checked in, I was like, I want to go weigh myself. My training room, because there's like, they have these little training rooms set up at the hotel. My training room didn't have a scale in it. So they're just like, use whichever one your opponent is in. So my opponent's in, I'm in room C, my opponent's in room B. I go to room A to use the scale. Who's in there? It's Ian Gay, his whole crew, you know what I'm saying? He's got the cameraman. He's got his trainer, he's got his wife, his little babies running around, you know what I'm saying? So I was already in my head, I was like ready to like talk shit on site whenever I saw him. And I was like, damn, his like wife and baby are in here. You know what I'm saying? Like they're chilling in here. I'm fucking over here. I just want to use the scale. So I'm being cordial. You know what I'm saying? He's being cordial, so I'm being cordial. You know what I'm saying? We're saying little passive aggressive things, but nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so, then as soon as I walk out, he starts talking shit about how, because I sent him a message, you know, I was saying, talk about knock him out, you know, I was saying we should fight each other. And so they pulled the little blurb, and he's like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying, he's so much tougher on Instagram than he is in person, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And now granted, he said all this after I just walked out of the room. You know what I'm saying? He's not saying this to my face, you know what I'm saying? To my face, it's being nice as all can be. As soon as I walk out of the room, he's talking all this shit. And so they posted that video. I was like, that's crazy. Because all week, they've been fucking nice as hell to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all week they've been, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a little video, you know what I'm saying? And it's a longer video. I'm walking up, and he was like, oh, man, dude, I love your shorts. Those shorts are cool, blah, blah, blah.
He's complimenting you?
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy.
I love your shorts, blah, blah, blah. And so, this is before that they dropped their video. So, I'm walking, and then, like, as I'm walking out, his, like, old lady starts calling to me. You know what I'm saying? Being friendly as hell to me. I'm confused. I'm like looking over. I'm like, man, he's right there. You're being awfully friendly to me. But then, you know, it's like, I didn't know their situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it might be normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might be used to that. You know what I mean? So, and so then, yeah, they dropped their video. So then after that, I hit up my camera. Like, I had a cameraman too. You know what I'm saying? I had a cameraman too. He just wasn't in there the first time, but so he got that whole exchange. Because there's like an even longer video where he's like, oh, I like your shorts where you get from, you know what I'm saying? we dropped a video where his wife was coming up and being friendly and all whatnot. And it was just like, and then, you know, a couple months later, half a year later, now, you know what I'm saying, it's popping off that she's like this. I'm not gonna say nothing about it. You're gonna say it for
it's kind of
it is funny. It is funny.
Proof is in less than
watching it look like being hilarious.
That's his hard day.
That man's going through it right now.
Yeah, if he loses next weekend too.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I mean, he shouldn't lose. But
Isn't that his ex-teammate? Did he used to train with that dude?
I don't know what he thinks
gotta be
now,
weird.
but they definitely used to train. They've trained together before.
I guess everyone's had to have trained with him at some point, supposedly. You know, he jumps around.
Yeah, they had that. Get kicked out of gym.
Yeah, I don't suppose him. Three.
This man,
That's
going
okay.
crazy. He's been going crazy. Dude.
Oh, enough about Ian, man. Enough. So back into the tough shit. So the first fight was against Mr. Hard-Headed, and the second fight it was against like one of the number one seeds, right?
He was the first pick for
First pick.
Or take it, yeah. Fucking
Andre Petrosky.
Andre Petrosky. And, you know, he's doing good now because he's 5-1 too.
Oh,
He's
is he?
5-1 the UFC now too. So he's killing it. But he was like, I actually on the very first day, they're like, okay, who wants to fight who? And I was like, I want to fight Petrosky. And I was like so mad that I got picked last on my team. I was like, you know, go ahead and give me that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But fortunately, it came around, and I got him in the semifinals because it was like I would say, like, if you were there, like actually there, you knew whoever won that fight was gonna like win the show. Because I started as kind of like this guy no one was like thinking about, but at that point, like a lot of people were like starting to believe that like I could win the show. You know what I mean? And so it was kind of like, okay, you know, saying Petrosky, I would say at that point was still the favorite to win, but like people were like, oh well, Bryan could win the whole thing. So it was like, okay, whoever wins this, you know, I don't want to like write off Trey Sean, but I definitely think like ours was kind of like a clashing of titans inside the house. At least, you know what I'm saying? There was one of the producers and all the producers, because you know Petrosky, he's a cool guy, but he has his like kind of douchey moments. You know what I'm saying? He'll say some inappropriate things. Cause like one of the things like being in the house is like you have the mics on you so they can hear you at all times. You know, I can hear it. There was one lady who was like at the house like consistently, like, and bless her heart, dude. Like we had just got there, we just got the mics on. We had already been isolated for a week because of COVID, and so we all get in the van after seeing this lady, and the things that were said about this woman. Oh my God. And the guy who was driving the bus was like, hey, guys, we can all hear you. And we're all like, yeah, whatever. And everyone's talking about it. And he was like, he's like, no, guys. They can hear, everyone on the staff can hear everything you guys are saying. And we're like, oh, no. We're like, that poor lady can hear everything we were just saying. Like, you know, like, oh, plus I wouldn't do it. So, like, Petrosky, he was infamous for saying some, like, some pretty vulgar things, you know what I'm saying? And so he wasn't not everyone, like, you know, like I said, he was a cool guy, but he wasn't everyone's favorite person, you know what I'm saying? So it was definitely fun. A lot of people were happy when I won that fight, you know what I'm saying? It was cool for sure.
What was that feeling of being like, damn, these motherfuckers picked me last?
That was so satisfying. Getting picked last?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was heated. Because I'd never been picked last for anything in my entire life. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to college wrestling or anything, so I'm not going to be the first pick. But, you know, they're going to look at, you know, my fights. I'm looking at my amateur record, you know. I'll be the second. I wasn't the second pick. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm being the second pick. I can understand how they would pick me second, but they'll definitely take me third. No, it took me third. I was like, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? It's me and Conor. We're both just sitting there. I was like, I can't believe this, dude. I'm like one of the last people left. That's unbelievable. And so it's like when they pick me on camera, you can see me doing this and like kind of like being cool. But as soon as I got off camera, I was like sitting there. I was like pissed. And then people all the time, they're like, it's not that big of a deal. Who cares? I was like, oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they picked me last. Like,
You were Volk's first win, though.
not actually.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
not actually. Ricky was the first win.
I was the second win.
So how did the order really go then?
So the order got,
Because Ricky didn't fight till after you.
yeah, he was the fight after me when it hadn't aired. But like in reality, so what happened was, what happened?
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. No, we talked about it afterwards. He was like low key. He's like a little salty the way they portrayed it because it was like I got the credit for being Volk's first win, but it was like he was really his fight was crazy. You know
No,
what I'm
it
saying?
was,
His
bro,
fight was
yeah.
crazy as hell.
I follow him because of that fight.
Yeah.
He gave me one of those moments that you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All his fights were like that. All his fights were crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But so. The very first episode, because they had to do all the team picks and everything like that, they needed a short fight, right? So it's like really the first fight was Mitch versus oh my goodness, I can't believe. Like I'm thinking of his Instagram name. He's the person that got me start saying but I wasn't Ali, it was this guy, you know what I'm saying. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. I love this dude, I love you, but he sings. But that went 3 rounds. Like that went not 2 rounds, 3 rounds. So they didn't have the time. They would have to cut out.
That was the youngest kid, right?
Yeah, Mitch was the youngest.
Didn't he fight his friend? Or was that the...
No, that was Brady. Brady fought his friend. Yeah, that was later on because Brady won that fight. So that was after me, after Ricky. Technically, it was Ricky, me, Brady, Gilbert. But the first order was Mitch, Aaron, Scrappy, and Ryder. You know what I'm saying? But the order got flipped because Mitch's fight went 3 rounds. And Aaron's fight
Didn't make the first episode.
he got Petrovsky tapped him out in like the first 2 minutes. So that was a short fight. So they just flipped the orders.
Right. That makes sense.
That's
funny as fuck.
Yeah. They just flipped the order of the episodes. And then right towards the last 4 fights, they flipped it back. So that was the order we went in for the last 4 fights. But, yeah, that shit was crazy. So,
Yeah.
it was funny watching how they ended up showing everything. Because they cut a lot of good stuff out. Like me and Ryder, we lost a game of pool to Volk and Uncle Joe, and so the bet was whoever loses has to go streaking around the house. So we went streaking around the house. They got all that shit on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so
Cut it out.
yeah, because I was so embarrassed. What made me mad was I apologized to my parents about it beforehand. I was like, listen, mom and dad, I'm sorry. I got butt ass naked. Was running around on camera. You know what I'm saying? Just to like brace them for it. And I watched the whole season. I was like, damn, I never even had to tell them. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they didn't even play it.
Oh, shit. So
It's dropped.
before you got to like where you are, because you mentioned your parents, I bet your dad. He's a cool dude. He's a cool guy.
No cuss.
Were they like what were their reactions to you being like, I'm sure fighting? Were they like with it? Were they like?
My mom hated it. She still doesn't love it to this day. But I mean, now she's kind of like, she's supportive, but she definitely like she can't watch me fight. You know what I mean? My dad has always been into it since day one. Like, he was always my #1 supporter. So, because he had some kickboxing fights back in like college. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. If I didn't have my dad for support, I don't know if I would have been able to at least get that the way I did. My whole journey would look different if my dad wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to my dad.
Yeah, what did that look like?
Yeah,
What did he do for you?
Well, one is just the
support of just being there and being at. He was at every grappling competition. You know, he started training at the gym. You know what I'm saying? He was into it. But then also was like, he was an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, lost my first fight, he was there. You know what I'm saying? He had front row seats. You know what I'm saying? And so, we're at Waffle House at midnight after that fight. We're talking, and it's just having a real moment, knowing how much time I invested in training, being like, hey, listen, you have another 2 fights like that, you're gonna have to find something else to do. You know what I'm saying? And just having someone who was fully supportive, but also cared enough about me to be like, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? You might suck at this. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if these things keep on happening, you're dumping a lot of time into it. You have to do something else. And so it's like, knowing that he would be supportive but tell the truth. And then on top of that, like I said, like when I moved out, I was broke the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So there's just sometimes with like medicals or something like that, you know what I'm saying? If I needed some help with like paying for a physical or paying for a blood test or something like that, my dad would always come through clutch. So, yeah, so without my dad, you know what I'm saying? And plus, he's just, I get that from him. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that's like inside me that enables me to do what I do, and then I definitely get that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker's a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a monster. So, yeah. Shout out to Papa Battle, man. The guy's a legend. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's always cool when you got your fucking kid in the gym. And if you have his son there, but his son wears like the regular size gloves. And then like he doesn't talk yet, does he?
He talks like a little bit, but it's mainly gibberish. Like, I mean, like he'll see me look, I'll be like, "Sissy, yes." Be like, "Yeah," or he'll see my picture, be like, "Dada," I'll be like, "Yeah." But a lot of it is like, gibberish. But he's talking. You know what I'm saying? It just isn't English. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool because even though he's like, not talking all the way, he's like, when the kids are like doing shit, his son's like fucking like tapping and shit.
Getting it down.
No, yes. I think because he's been watching the kids class since he was since he could come out of the house. Like he used to come to kids class with me every day, but he would just sit in his little stroller, not stroller, but little car seat thing. He would just sit in that. And just watch if when the moms were there, they would hold him, but otherwise he would just sit in his little car seat thing and watch the kids. And it wasn't until he started walking that I had to start leaving him home. You know what I'm saying? Because then he could start fucking shit up. But before then, he would just sit there and watch the kids. And it's when he's doing stuff, because it is funny watching him. He'll get in his fight stance and moving and throw punches and kicks. It's he gets that from the kids. He doesn't imitate me, he imitates them. He thinks he is one of them. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's not a giant adult like me. He thinks he's one of them. And it is just so funny, watching him. Yeah, they're doing bear crawls. He's trying to do bear crawls too. They're doing crab walks. He's trying to do crab walks too. You know what I'm saying? He's a funny dude, man. Miles, he's the dope, man. He's gonna be crazy when he grows up. He's gonna be a wild dude. He's gonna be a wild dude, man.
How does he know?
He just turned 2 in October, so.
Are you wanting him to, obviously it's up to him, but are you one of the parents who wants their kid to get into fighting, or are you one of the fighters who are I don't want my kid to ever fucking do this shit?
I'll say this, I definitely won't push him towards it, and I definitely wouldn't be mad if he chose to do anything else, especially something more stable, you know what I mean? But the moment he's I want to fight, I'm all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Always yeah, I want to be a professional fighter. I'm all right, cool. This is your new schedule. You know what I'm saying? This is your new diet. It's you want to do this? All right, cool, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, for the people here who, or watching, who want to become professional fighters themselves, what's the difference in your schedule now? What did you have to start doing to get to the point of where you are?
Well, one is just back in the day, it was work and training. It was that was it. Because when starting at 21, one thing that was a handicap but also benefited me was my sense of urgency to learn things, because I knew I was behind the 8 ball. I knew there was just for how old I was as someone who wanted to fight. I knew most guys my age who were actually fighting had been training for, if they either wrestled or they did boxing, or they've been just training for a long time. So there was just like a lot of things I need to learn. So I was constantly in the gym trying to learn as much as possible. But like I said, even though it was a handicap not knowing a lot, that tenacity that I trained with, like, just put me, because it was like I just trained differently than everyone else. So it's like when I fought differently. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted it more than everybody. So, but that's just doing what you can. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're starting off, you just do what you can. And that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You're just supposed to be in the gym as much as you can be. But when you go pro, well, and once again, there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? If you're early stage pro, you're not making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have the ability to train, crazy or anything. But like, once you start making money, you have to start investing in yourself. And like, as the competition picks up, your training should pick up. You know what I mean? Like, or even then, I wouldn't even say that. I would say wherever you picture yourself going, that's what your training should look like. So even if you weren't technically there yet, you should have your training. However you view, if you want to be an amateur champion, your training should reflect that of what you think an amateur champion does. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a pro fighter, your training should reflect that of what you think a pro fighter does. Like, you shouldn't wait till you get there to start it. You should be in that before. If you want to be world class, then you have to be doing your best. You know what I'm saying? Even if the training isn't like quote unquote world class, it's like you should be. That's how you should be having. You should be going. You should be trying to obtain the best training possible and putting the most into it possible. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely one of those things where what you put in is what you get out. Like, if you want to be great, then you got to train great. If you want to be someone who wins local fights, then train like someone who wins local fights. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? The most important thing is just, like, especially starting off, get in there as much as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Learn as much as you possibly can, so that you can figure out what you're good at and figure out how you should shape your game. You know what I mean? Because figuring out everyone's game is different. So you got to figure out what your game is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm geeked at just the fact that you're like, you haven't done anything till you're 21 and you just got so much cauliflower, bro. And other people who wrestle their whole fucking lives. Like, you definitely look like you fucking were wrestling in middle school. And now where you're fucking...
That's a product of getting knocked out in your first fight, is I became a cage warrior, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was smashing my head into people's hips and, like, smashing my head into people's ribs, just pushing them up against the cage. And it was like, you go watch my amateur fights, they're not exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a grinder. You know what I'm saying? I grabbed a hold of you, and I'm just mushing. That's why my ears are so fucked up, dude. That's all from the amateur days of me just... 2 years of me just smashing my ears into people's heads. Not their heads, their hips and their body and everything like that. Yeah, I got big cauliflower. That shit.
Is it hard?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, people always like, but when I was single, dude, the best icebreaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If they say anything about you, dude, it's a wrap, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
No, then no.
yeah, once I say something, it's just like, it just gives you an entryway. You know, you can start talking about something, you know what I'm saying? And then once you get the conversation rolling, then you can transition into whatever else. You know what I'm saying? These things were great when I was single, you know what I'm saying?
Do your headphones work the same way, or you got it? Nah.
You headphones are
Yeah, man, dude,
no
it's
earbuds.
tragic. Well, yeah, like, I can wedge them in there, but it's not very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm usually a buff guy.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to get some of the Bluetooth joints to put in there, and it wasn't comfortable. Like, I can hear it, but then even then, it's like weird because it's like the pressure changes the way it sounds. It's just like, yeah.
Mm.
I'll get it shaved out after I retire, probably.
What? I can get them like drained or some shit, right?
Not anymore.
I think that's past draining.
Yeah, it's past
Yeah, did
draining.
you just not drain it? Like,
No, I drain it all the time, dude. I have like videos of like Like, there was the first time
I'm like, what do you mean you're draining it all the time?
The first time, because people were geeking. I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and so the first time I really blew up, it was this year. It got super swollen. People they're like, I just want to poke it. I just want to pop it. So the first time I was like, all right, we got to drain this thing. My whole frame room just blew up. Like, everyone stopped what they were doing. Everyone came over to that house I was telling you about. And everyone was there. Dudes were like, we had a friend who wasn't her, so she brought over.
Okay, I was about to be like, it was just you doing that.
I mean, but it wasn't us. It was just a bunch of, like, my friends were taking turns just, like, trying to get the needle in my ear. And I didn't know that they weren't doing it. Like, they weren't penetrating the skin, but it was so painful. You know, yeah, they were just poking they weren't able to penetrate it. And so after that, I started just doing it by myself. I was like, oh, no. After I watched the video, I was like, you telling me that whole first half an hour, y'all aren't even in my ear, bro? What? But no, I drained it a lot. It just like, I would have had to drain it and then not train.
Right.
I mean, I would have had to drain it, put something to keep pressure on it, and then let it settle. But since I was always training, it was always getting reactive. So I would drain it, it would be down, and it would get smacked, and then it would fill it back up. I would drain it again.
It sounds like you should just have left it. It sounds worse.
That's what I'm saying. So eventually I did. So I was like, fuck it, dude. I'll just leave it. And that's why this happened too. I was just like, fuck it. I'll just let it get hard. And when it gets hard, then it will leave. And then if I want to get shaved down after I'm done fighting, I can't.
The fuck do you mean shaved down?
The extra stuff.
Go see someone and they just shave that bitch down.
What the fuck?
Shave that bitch down, bro. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy. I like grappling dudes with cauliflower ear.
Why?
Sometimes you get like a better grip.
Yeah.
He gets behind my head. You got that. You know when you're like rock climbing?
Yeah.
It's really what it feels like.
That's
It's fucking crazy.
That's wild.
Yo, you talked about this fucking samurai. I fuck with him. You're actually watching.
Sashi.
Yeah, we were watching a video about him the other day. You probably know a little bit more about him than I do, so give us a little breakdown about this guy and tell us how you started fucking with him.
All right, Miyamoto Musashi. All right, he wrote the book of 5 rings. I think I call it like the fight Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like Yuri Prohashchik. I want to butcher his last name, but he was just like a dude on the street. He read that book, and it just changed his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Became a dedicated martial artist after reading it, and it's basically, you know, it's like this guy Musashi. He was a samurai back in the day when being a samurai was a thing. And he killed a bunch of dudes, you know what I'm saying? And like one-on-one duels. And he just like wrote this book where it was talks about large-scale strategy, but also one-on-one strategy. And it's just crazy how much of the stuff, like whether it's a philosophical, like something like conceptual, you know what I'm saying, or actually like, you know, attack high and attack low. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. He wrote this stuff forever ago. And it's still, like, I was reading it and it was like, yo, this is the stuff my coach tells me to do. It's like, it's so crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like his concepts on it, you know what I'm saying? Understanding the way. Once you understand the way, you see the way in all things, you know what I'm saying? Being balanced. You know what I'm saying? Every fighter should be like a poet or something along the lines of that. You know what I mean? Musashi, he was cool people, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wrote, there's not a whole lot of, you know, just anything, but, you know, specifically literary works that survived the test of time. But, like, everything he wrote still stands. Like, if you're a fighter, like, if you're someone who's never competed, I'm sure you can read it and get something out of it just because it is, like, so philosophical. But if you're someone who's ever competed in any kind of combat sport, then you would read that and you'd be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, this shit still holds up to this day. He wrote it forever ago. And it was about killing people with swords. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, no, I love that shit.
Oh, yeah. That's dope. You got anyone else like that you're interested in? Because, like, I know you like anime, you know, and I feel like that's kind of in the world, even if it's an anime character, like.
Well, I'd probably say, like, all right, so I feel like everyone from our generation, for the most part, especially if you fight, you watch Dragon Ball Z, And I'm always a Goku. Most people are Vegeta people. I'm a Goku guy, and like through and through. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have any character development, but that's because he didn't need any character development. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like just a fucking a guy who just loved to train, eat, and fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the dread. You know what I mean? He inspired me a lot as like a little kid. But as an adult, like have you ever read One Piece?
Mm-hmm. One Piece. So that what you watch?
Mm-hmm. You watch One Piece?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What, are you caught up?
No, not all the way.
Where are you at?
Honestly, I only watched like the live action, like part of the first. It's blasphemy, I know.
I heard it wasn't that bad. I heard it was actually.
It was good.
Haven't even watched it?
I refuse to watch anything live action.
Mhm.
I'm like hardcore against live action stuff.
Surgery too many times.
So, all right, what about One Piece? What is it for you? What do you like about it?
Well, one, just like story wise, it's just to me, it's like the best story of our generation. Period. It's so good. It's such a good story, and then it's just like the general idea of it. Like, there's one time, you know. So the whole, because it's such a goofy concept, right? You know what I'm saying? It's about this dude who wants to be king of the pirates, right? You know what I'm saying? So he's going to gather his crew. He's going to find the treasure that the old king of the pirates left, and they call it the One Piece. And so it's just like, okay, you know. But, like this whole guy, his whole objective behind being the king of the pirates, you know what I'm saying, is not to like, you know, have all these territories and rule all these people. He's like, yo, the king of the pirates is the most free person. Like, it's a whole story of freedom, you know what I'm saying? There's like a lot of, you know, government conspiracies and espionage and like, there's like slavery, all this other like adult themes like mixed in there. You know, there's like the whole concept is, at the end of the day, it's like a story about freedom. I just love that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I want to be someone who has freedom to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I vibe with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, like I said, the story in and of itself is just like a good story. The foreshadowing, the world building, everything you want out of the story, they fucking hated it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I know One Piece. One Piece is the go, man. One Piece is the go for real. But on a book tip, I don't know, and I'm tripping on his name. He wrote the 50 Laws of Power or whatever. You ever heard of that book? Or he's written a couple of bangers. I never read that one, but he wrote one called The 33 Strategies for War, and another book called Mastery. Like Mastery, like 33 Strategies of War is banned because it has just like real stories. Like there's this one story about the motherfucking Spartans. They like went and they got hired to go fight with this Persia king, right? But shit fell apart when they're deep in enemy territory, and so everyone's like, oh shit, we're all gonna die. We're gonna be surrounded by Persians. We're deep in Persian territory. We're all gonna die. And they gathered them together, and like this one guy who wasn't even a soldier, he was a rider. He like rallied the troops and like gave them hope, and they managed to fight their way back to their home. And not one person didn't die. Like they just like came together. They were all panicking, but they all came together and worked together as a unit, and they all got back home safely. And it was just like, there's like stories like that. Like I gave you like the extreme cliff notes like of that story, but it's like, you know, you read stories like that, and you're like, God, dude, that's so badass. But Mastery is cool because it's about mastering things and what it takes to master things. And it's like we're talking about like the first time you come to the gym, it's exciting, you know, because it's this whole new world. And it's like when you're first trying to learn things, everything's in like the frontal cortex of your brain. I hope I said that right. But when it's there, it takes up a lot of space and you have to think about it, right? But the more you drill things and the more you do things, it slowly starts to slip to the further back cortexes of your brain. And that's how you develop muscle memory, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like little things like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, dude, this shit is hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I forget his name, but those books are bangers.
You read a lot of
What
books.
read?
I don't read nearly as much as I would like to. I wish I read more. My problem is like I'll start reading and then I'll like get caught on this one thing and keep rereading it over and over and over again. And so I'll really appreciate the fuck out of that one paragraph, but then I won't go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's like then I never end up finishing the book.
What about you? You read a lot?
I used to when I was younger, but definitely not anymore. No.
I don't fucking read that often.
You know, there's like they say, there's two different types of ways people read. There's people who just like they read the lines and they're just seeing the words, and then there's people like me when I read a book, as I'm reading the words, like I'm essentially visually seeing what's actually like in the page. I think that's the difference between people who would like can enjoy a book or not. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that makes me feel better. I don't fucking like reading, man. It's just not as interesting. Honestly, and like it's funny because like that's the reason I never really got into anime. It's just because like subtitles, just like.
Yeah, man, I feel you because I can't watch it in English. Like English.
See, that's the thing.
It's goofy to me.
I watch all that shit in English, and all the anime people are like, "Yo, what the fuck? The fuck?"
It's a major sign.
Right.
The dub versus sub groups. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Like, if it doesn't bother you, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I won't ever like, fucking think you're a lesser.
Nah, people definitely tell me I'm a lesser fan because
that is a thing.
You're still indulging.
Right, I'll be talking about the episodes in secret. Like I'll be telling them how the storyline. Like that. I think the only anime I watched like a full season of might have been One Punch Man, but I definitely watched that shit in dub. And I can't imagine it.
I think that one actually pretty good.
Okay.
I think for the most part, people wouldn't get too worked up.
Okay, but shit, I just let them know.
Why is there the controversies? Is the like translation that far off, or is it just not? It's not where it was.
It's just that if you are a connoisseur, you know what I'm saying. The English, a lot of times, the English voice acting just doesn't.
Okay, so it's the quality of the voice.
And the story's the same, bro.
The story's the same, but sometimes when that voice actor's hitting, you're feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
it doesn't come at a cost of when you sit there and fucking.
That's what I'm saying. The action.
They're talking in fucking whatever language. You don't even know what they're saying. You just hear fucking shit, and then that's the same thing. Like I'm like fucking look.
Yeah, that's why I don't do subtitles, because like I'm so ADD. It's one or the other for me. Like I'm either gonna read this thing or I'm gonna watch it.
I need both. I need the dubs with subtitles. Like I need everything. But I be distracted, bro. I get easily distracted. And if all I have to do is read, I be like watching anime. And I tried it. I tried the like fucking regular ones, but then like 30 minutes in, I'm like, or just 5 minutes. You can't look away for a fucking second. And I can't afford to not be able to look at it, right?
You gotta be locked in.
I gotta check my phone or something. Like
You miss something major. You know what I'm saying? You be like, you come back, you be like, what the fuck is happening now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you look away for 2 seconds, you come back, like, what the fuck? What happened? Why are we in a whole different universe right now? You know what I mean? That shit's crazy as hell.
what's your day-to-day like these days?
Man, it's just training, home training. I mean,
Like,
Mondays, I usually try to spend the first part of the day either at home or doing chores, like some shit that I gotta get done. Then do strength and conditioning, and then go do wrestling later on. Teach kids class in between. Tuesdays and Thursdays are crazy because we got the 6 a.m. classes. I coach those. Then got boxing. After boxing, we got jiu-jitsu. After jiu-jitsu, we got velocity. After velocity, we go to the home gym. Once again, teach the kids, do fight team practice. So Monday and Thursdays like that too, except we don't do fight team practice at night. But Tuesdays and Thursdays are grinders. Wednesday's a light day. I try to spend more time with the family. On Wednesday, I try to keep it light. Usually, we kind of got out the rhythm of it, but that's when I go get my work in with my big bro Keith.
You know what I'm saying? Keith Richardson, shout out to him. You know, bare knuckle boxing world champion now.
Yeah.
Local legend.
And then Friday, go see sis, hang out with Tom. I do a probably with Tom on Monday too. I forgot about that. But yeah, go to work with Tom, go to Velocity. And right now that's all I'm doing. I need to get back to wrestling on Fridays too, but Saturday, you know what I'm saying, we go to the gym, teach the kids, 8:30 to 10:30, you know what I'm saying, do grappling, kickboxing, then do fighting. And then whatever we do on Saturday, whatever we're doing on Sunday. Don't do shit on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? That's for my people, that's for my family. And that's actually tough, is like not doing something on a Sunday, because it's always like Sunday's like, you know, that's a big open mat day. Like open mats are a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? You always have like some FOMO and whatnot. Like I feel like, fuck, dude, something's gonna.
That's the worst, bro. Especially when you see the stories.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
damn, it was packed.
yeah, for real. No, for real. It's like, damn.
Sounds like you're never wearing shoes. You're always on the mat.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. I got those slides out. I just started wearing sneakers again. I forgot how much I actually liked it, but it was just like, there was no reason to have anything other than slides on. It was just like,
No, dude, I'm fortunate now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's cool. Like, it's definitely a grind, and it's like ironic because that's like now my job. Like we were talking about it earlier, like I had to find a new outlet because it's like what was my outlet became my job, but it's like I'm super fortunate that like my job is what it is. Like my job is like being in a gym, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I'm super blessed, super fortunate. And you know, hopefully even when I'm not fighting, I don't want to spend any less time in the gym. I just like want to like, you know, I'll definitely train a lot less personally, but I definitely want to like get in on the coaching side of things. I like coaching is like stressful, like way more like fighting is way less stressful to me than coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Because I have control of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? If I'm fighting, I have control of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? If you're coaching, you know what I'm saying, you have no control of anything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have control over a few things that are totally outside of the fighter. You know what I'm saying? And that even if you're giving them the best advice in the world, it all depends on how they're receiving it and like how they're feeling, what's going through their head. But there is something great like about seeing people grow and develop and like achieve things. Like, oh man, there's something intoxicating about just being around that. You know what I mean?
For sure. Does like your day-to-day, obviously you're training like a motherfucker, and training other people too at the gym, but does like your physical training change like when you go into like a fight camp, or do you like anything different in that
Yeah,
sense?
it gets a lot more dialed in. Because right now it's like out of fight camp, I can kind of like, I got so much training on the books, it's like I can skip something. Like if like I need to do something, or like if my old lady needs help with something, it's like it's not a problem for me to miss this session here because I know I'm gonna get this session over. You know what I'm saying? But like if I have a contract signed, then it's locked. It's like now it's like usually six weeks out is when I get super duper like it's about me now. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like now it's like in regular life you try to, you know, be a good partner, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not all about me, you know what I'm saying? It's about the family, you know what I'm saying? It's about dudes at the gym, you know what I'm saying? It's about the team. But like 6 weeks out, now it's about me. You know
There's a point where it's got to
fight come
sure.
through, you know what I'm saying? I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm sorry, but in this period of time, if I'm going to be able to do what I got to do, then I got to do what I need to do to prepare for that, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, everyone's different with their process, but that's how it kind of is for me. So, yeah, I would just say it just gets a lot more dialed in and a lot more intense and a lot more self, like, for example, like now, I mean, it's kind of nice now no one's got fights, so we can kind of just spar how we want to spar, but beforehand, you know, it's like a lot of people got fights. When you're sparring, you're not sparring necessarily to get better, you're kind of sparring to help your teammates, so you're giving them looks, you know what I'm saying? Which is important, you know what I'm saying? You want to give your teammates good looks, you want to put them in the best position to win. They grow, they can help you grow, you know what I'm saying? And it should be like that where it's like, okay, it's your time, I'm gonna help you during your time. It's my time, you help me during my time, and we help each other, you know what I'm saying? We grow with each other, you know. But it is definitely, you know, like, I've knocked people out in my fight camps, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's like, that's how little I'm giving a fuck about anybody. Like, and it's not like a malicious thing. Like, it's like, I'm just in there, just stand back, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep your hands up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, it's definitely, and then just like mentally, like I said, going to that place where it's like, you know what I'm saying, you might have to go to a dark place, you know what I'm saying, in the fight. So it's like, if you have to go to a dark place in the fight, then you definitely need to go to that place before the fight so you're comfortable there, you know what I mean? So, yeah, fight camps and dudes.
How is it, obviously in like the relationship aspect for you, like your wife, you know?
It's good, dude. It's good, dude. I mean, she knew like the whole deal, like, because I was fighting when we got together, you know what I'm saying? So
He's a black belt, right?
she's a black belt in karate, yes sir. I'm a boy. Yeah, she's a black belt in karate. Oh, she would be happy to hear you say but no, she definitely, because that's why none of my relationships before her worked out, because it's like, you know, girls, they like to date a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Not all girls, but you know, it's always like a nice thing to have in your back pocket, you know what I'm saying? But they don't like, in a lot of cases, for you to do what you need to do to be a successful fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, especially if you don't have financial support, so that means like, yo, like, I gotta work to pay my bills. I gotta train if I want to win. You know what I'm saying? If you want to date a loser, you know what I'm saying? I could, like, skip training, you know what I'm saying? And come hang out with you. But, you know, if you want to date a winner, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go get this work in, you know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of my relationships didn't work out for Caitlin. Caitlin was the first girl because she was doing a bunch of crazy stuff too. She was, like, working multiple jobs, like, studying for her master's, you know what I'm saying? So she had all this other stuff going on. So she understood. Now, with that being said, as time has gone on, there's definitely like moments where it's like harder, you know what I mean?
I'm sure a family adds to that, you know, kids and stuff.
Yeah, family, you know, people get older, things change, priorities change. But that's just like, you know, that's relationships, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always gonna be easy, you know what I'm saying? And so, bless her heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to her. She's you know what I'm saying? It definitely hasn't always been easy. I can't imagine it being easy to be my wife with, like I said, my schedule alone, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, we make it work, you know what I'm saying? You know, things are cool. So
it shows. I mean, she obviously has to have a certain amount of love for you to be able to allow you to do those things, you know, and it's reciprocated in that way.
Yeah.
That's so that she's a black belt though. Like, that makes it make a lot more sense. Like, she like understands fighting to an extent where it's just like, oh no, like, you could get hurt out there. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for like a lot of people who don't do it. Like, for like, because that's something that I think was like hard for like partners of mine. I think just like how much I have to train, but it's like you could get hurt. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to like, I don't want to like be in there and be like, fuck, if I would have done this, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. And now I'm like mad at this person because I feel like they stopped me from doing this.
100%. There's nothing like your first fight when you're like just in your shorts and maybe but like, all right, so when you're in the cage and you're in your shorts with nothing else on, he's in his shorts with nothing else on, and there's only a referee in there, you're like, I can't believe I'm actually fucking doing this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's generally the thought that goes to most people. That it's like, I can't believe this is fucking happening. If you're not prepared for that, when that hits, then you're just going to be like a deer in the headlights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get fucking smoked. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling never I would say like it definitely like isn't nearly as intense as the first time, but I don't think it ever truly goes away. You know what I'm saying?
What about UFC Charlotte though, bro? Like that had to feel like fucking insane,
You erupted that place.
bro. What?
Dude, that was
That
That was our first UFC fight that
Yeah.
I've ever been to.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it was. What was crazy about that was like, all right, so it's like I signed the fight Gabe, but it was like location to be announced. They're talking about it being in Charleston. They're talking about it being in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? And so I was sitting there like I'm not even thinking about Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I'm the only person from North Carolina on the card. Like I was thinking it was gonna be in Vegas the first time I saw it, just looking at who was gonna be on the card, and But then I was driving back from Velocity one time. I was driving from Velocity to CCS, and Veggie was in the car with me, and he was like, "Oh, you're fighting in Charlotte?" And I was like, "Nah, dude. They're talking about it being over here, over there, over here, over there." He was like, "No." He checked his phone around and said UFC Charlotte. And I was like, dude, I started crying. I turned on Trips and Nightmares and just started crying on the way to the gym. I turned on outside. I was just fucking. I was like, bro, don't look at me right now. Like, this is a dream come true. Just like, don't mind me. We're having a moment right now. And then like the actual like fight is going on, and it's just like, yeah, like the walkout, because I hadn't fought in front of a crowd since before COVID. You know what I'm saying? So I had fought in front of a big crowd. You know, all my UFC fights from Tough to afterwards had been the Apex. So this is my first time fighting, like not only fighting in front of this, fighting in the arena, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so I didn't know what to expect. It wasn't until I watched it afterwards and heard the commentators, I was like, damn, dude, is it always like this? Like, I was like, this is crazy. You know, it's like I knew that it definitely had an effect being a Charlotte guy, but I didn't know how, like, I didn't really, I guess that probably kind of helped, like, not realizing that it was, like, that crazy. Like, I was just like, yeah, just fighting, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was definitely, the energy was just crazy. Like,
When you were in there, did you have that like moment of like soaking it in, or were you just like, was it just like another fight?
dude, no, I think every second I was just kind of like, oh, this is crazy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was on one hand, it was just another fight, but the setting around it was so special. Like even the whole situation with Tom, like the fact that Tom was able to make the walk like a little over a week after getting ran over by you all, you know what I'm saying? And his femur was sticking out of his leg, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he was able to make the walk, you know what I'm saying? When that was the first time Shamik had smacked me up, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time.
That was the first time that shit happened.
Yes.
Bro, you watched that shit?
Yes.
Like, yo, slap the fuck out of him.
yeah. Because listen to this. I had just reached up the corner, and normally,
And so that was, Shamik had gone with me to every UFC fight, but he had never been in my corner. And he kind of took Keith Richardson. So Keith was always in my corner. He did, first Tony did it, he did it. Actually, maybe Tom did, I forget. But Tom was all fucked up. And so we were sitting there, and it was him, Shamik. Keith was fighting the day before. So I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just roll with these guys. My dad was in my corner. I kicked him out because I was like, I need someone with a similar body type so I can do with the drills properly. So it went to Tom, Shamik, and John. And Tom was like, who's going to slam Bryan up? And John was like, you got it, Shamik. And so Shamik was like, all right, I got it. I was like, all right, so listen, and I did it with noise. I was like, it's bop, 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 bop. You know what I'm saying? I did like every part he was supposed to smack in, like I'm making that. So he said when he was walking out, he was like, Bop, bop. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's like losing track of it. And so like if you watch it, like he like skips a whole arm, you know what I'm saying? Like, he skips a whole arm just like smacking the shit out of me. But it was crazy because you don't see it on the camera, but I was like, after I got smacked, it was so fucking intense. I went like, I did this whole day. I was like, but you see Shabik, but you don't see like Tom and John too, like all like at the same moment. We're all like, and just like it was like so electric. Like everything was just happening perfectly. It was like the stars were aligning, and then like we're in the cage. I mean, they're fucking doing the shit out of fucking games. Like, he said it didn't affect all, like, even before, dude. Like, there's no way. Like, just looking at his body language, you could tell the crowd was getting to him. Then they, like, came to me, and it was just, like, it was building. He said, Charlotte, North Carolina, everyone's blowing up. Like, I'm getting into it. Like, normally, I'm, like, chill. Like, normally, I'm just, like, looking at the opponent during, but like that one, I was like, yo, we gotta get crunk. Yeah. We gotta get crunk. We gotta get crunk. And so he's saying that the crowd blows up, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure Gabe had a game plan similar to what he did, just like less, slightly less aggressive, slightly more defensive. But like, I think that just happened. And he was just like, I need to go
fix this.
I need to go 100 miles an hour.
Consciously, right?
Just like. Get him, like, he needed to, like, feel comfortable. He was really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he came out crazy. And then it was like, boom, it was like him with the punch, and he just, like, died. And it was just like, this, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? This is, like, it's like, how did everything happen? It was like one of those things where it's like, you know, it's like if someone sent that in as a script, you know what I'm saying? Like, people would be like, this is not realistic, you know what I'm saying? So, no, that was amazing. That whole event, top to bottom, afterwards, after party, everything was, oh my goodness, everything was great.
You probably felt like the king of Charlotte.
To this day. To this day.
But yeah, no, definitely, it's 100% that night. 100% that night. Like, I felt like you couldn't say shit to me that night. You know what I'm saying? I was the fucking man, and I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting prompts from a lot of the vets at the fucking fighter hotel. Like, after that fight, they're coming up to me, fucking pat me on the back. It was very surreal. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things. Like, damn, dude, I was watching you on TV in high school, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers like Matt Brown. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Smith, they were being cool as hell, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like once again, that perception thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, before all that, you know, it's like I was wearing the clothes, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, he's in the UFC, you know what I'm saying? If that happens, there's just the way they perceive you just changes, the way they treat you changes, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was magical, bro.
It is perspective, but it's also like earned perspective to an extent, you know? You got to give yourself the credit to that extent.
For sure. There's
a lot of people who are doing the same shit, you know, who don't have the success.
It is, yeah. But, you know, I don't know. It's just like, there's a lot of, I've been very fortunate, you know what I'm saying? And so, and, you know, I just always appreciate every bar in it. So
seems like it for sure.
Yeah, man. And so now it's like, and it's exciting seeing all the boys come up behind, you know what I'm saying? Seeing like how the future looks, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited. I'm excited for the next like 5 years. Like, see what happens in the next 5 years. I feel it's gonna be very, very exciting. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
We'll see.
Bro, your last fight, that was a great fight.
That was okay. So that was like a boring fight.
That was boring?
Yeah, that was boring. I should have got out of that in the first round.
Everyone, I was watching with a bunch of people from Charlotte, what is it?
Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, that shit was lit. We were lit in there.
Well, it was, because that was like a one where I kind of knew going into that fight, I was like, I'm better than him. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the sense of urgency just like wasn't there. And I was more like, okay, I don't want to lose to this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me not do anything dumb. Let me wait. Whereas really, in reality, I could have just like kind of gone out there and fucking got after his ass off the whip. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I felt his power, but when he was blocking the shots. And he did drop it with that elbow. But that was more so because I did see it. You know what I'm saying? And it was an elbow. And his punches didn't really hurt that much. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. So
I wonder what it is to that aspect that makes it different of not seeing a punch that can drop people, you know what I mean? And actually like visually seeing it hit you.
You can't brace for it.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just soft, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're like relaxed. So it hits, there's nothing. Like if I see a punch, I can bite down. I can, get
tight.
body ready to absorb the impact. If like I was thinking about breaking off, and he just, you know what I'm saying, my whole head snapped. You know what I'm saying, my brain rattled around. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And so yeah,
I never thought of it that way. Because I was about to say the like only times I've been like wobbled, it's been like I didn't see what hit me, but like I felt something.
A lot of times what happens, a lot of those people come in from weird angles and shit, you know? You don't see the punch.
that is, or it's like if you see like knockout punches or knockout shots in general are shots that either people don't see until the very last second, or strikes where they catch someone extremely out of position, and which in both cases you can't properly position yourself to absorb impact. It's very rare that you see someone like, even if someone gets hit with a bomb, if they're sitting there in their fight stance and like looking at the guy as they're absorbing that bomb, unless they're getting hit by like faces that got him, generally speaking, they can absorb it. Like their face might get fucked up after it, but like the knockout shots are like, fucking touch the body, come over the top, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't see it, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, stepping off to an angle, throwing the right hand down to where the guy's turning around and seeing it at the very last second, you know what I'm saying? Or, you both throw, you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like whichever one, whoever throws it better, gets it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It definitely helps to, work on your balance and your core and your hips and everything like that as far as delivery goes. But, like Sean O'Malley doesn't seem like the most powerful person in the world. He knocks people out.
Right.
Not TKOs. He like knocks people out. He knocks people unconscious. It's because it's hitting them in the sweet spot.
That's crazy. It's got to be a small fucking, entry points.
Yeah, dude.
That's nice. Yeah. Especially at that high level like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you see way more knockouts in amateur fights than you do like professional fights. Amateurs, it's usually like
very one-sided.
Yeah. So that does suck when it is like that. When it does seem pretty one-sided. But I mean, like, I'm not a fight. But let him keep fighting. I mean, he's just good.
So that's where you're gonna see the most discrepancy in training.
Yeah.
People at the highest level are going to be giving it their all most of the time. I mean,
Well, what I'll say too is at the highest level, you might see more finishes in the amateur fights, but the higher level, that's where you'll see more people get put to like sleep. And like normally at an amateur level, like you'll get the TKOs, you'll get that where you're landing the combination, the guy goes into the fetal position, and you finish him, but he's never really unconscious. You know what I'm saying?
This last local fight for a card was different. That was a special card.
Well, I did the one guy, he did get like, that was crazy.
There was a ground and pound, bro. Like went out. We have a ground and pound. There's some crazy shit in this card. But there's a dude who like you've seen the kind of knockout before, but where he got hit, and then he got hit one more time. He didn't need to be hit. He was stiff. He got hit that second time, and then he was. When it fell sprayed on his face. Oh man, that's fucking crazy. So you said you've knocked people out in training. You've gotten knocked out your first fight. Is that the only time you've ever been like knocked out?
Like knocked out. I've gotten flashed a couple times.
In fights or just training?
Both in fights and in training. Like because flash, what I mean by flash is like, it's like a flash in there. It's like, if you get hit by something, you go black for a second and then you're like back.
I've had that so far,
Yeah, for sure. And so, like, there's one time, I guess one of the biggest ones, I wouldn't even say this was a flash. It was just like, Roger put me on my ass. He kicked me in the head one time. I was throwing a jab to the body. He threw a kick at the same time.
Roger's a big motherfucker. You gotta see Roger to like get like he's a big dude. He's a massive human.
Yeah, and he's strong as hell.
He's like a black German guy. He has like a funny accent, like a beard. He's a character.
Sounds like
he,
it.
he seems like someone out of like a fictional TV show.
Yeah,
Like
it's
he's
a,
a real person. And then in the fight was my whole amateur. Oh, yeah, there's a couple times. There was one amateur fight. I came out real aggressive, and the first punch, I think this kid just came out through a cross right off the rip. Fucking hit me. I dropped to my knees, and just like my subconscious just kept on, just popped right back up. Like I woke up on the cage, holding on the cage, but it was like if you watch it, like I got hit, drop, came back up, grabbed them. It was my last amateur fight. I fought this guy, Leo Wakana, hardest hitter I've ever gone against in my entire life to this day. You know what I'm saying? Big Samoan dude, his hands were ginormous.
It's always the Samoans to the lines, man.
It didn't make sense. Like, I was holding up against the cage, and he was just hitting me with rabid punches that were like almost like knocking my head off my body. I was like, "Oh, I'm not letting you off this cage, motherfucker." But the ref reset us. I wasn't doing enough, and he had fought southpaw the whole fight, but he switched orthodox on this break, and so I didn't realize that. So when he threw his jab, I slipped the wrong way, and then I was just right in perfect position for him to throw that to me. Boom! And my whole head snapped back, and I fucking went limp all the way to my ass. And when I hit the mat, I woke back up, and I was like, "Oh shit!" You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh shit! I can't believe that just happened." But you know, it was whatever. We survived and got back up. Put him right up against the cage again, you know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, obviously, like I said, in my last fight, I got hit with that elbow, and that flashed. I had no idea what I got hit with until I was like, Tom told me, he was like, "Watch out for those elbows." I was like, "Oh, it was an elbow?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, shit."
you popped right back up. That shit was, like, just watching it live, though, I was like, oh!
Yeah, no, I definitely was like until I popped back up, it was ever like unconscious, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not unconscious, but like flash. And then Trey flashed me twice when we fought each other, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I got complacent when I was circling. I circled right into him. I got complacent with my hands, and I was just kind of circling. I didn't think he was gonna do shit, you know what I'm saying? He fucking did something, you know what I'm saying? He came. I was like, "Oh shit!" And we're fucking striking. You, I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "All right, I'm gonna shoot on your ass." It's time to shoot. So yeah, it's been a couple times, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, good conditioning, and you know what I'm saying, like fucking good fight IQ afterwards. You know, kind of like you deal with it. You know what I'm saying. I will say is a big part of getting dropped is your feet not being in the right place. If your feet are in the right place and you have good balance, that will help a lot with that shock absorption. A lot of times I got dropped, my feet weren't in the right place, so I just couldn't absorb it the way I should have been able to. You know what I mean? So,
What's that feeling like dropping a motherfucker? Like, when you just see him, like, finish him. Like, what does that feel like?
dude, there's nothing, because it's like so I got 2 submission ones in the UFC, 2 like nice KO ones, like not TKOs. I like a dude in the fetal position who's still conscious and he just like succumb to the pain and like doesn't want to be there anymore. It's like they had no choice. Like I hit them and they went to sleep. That is because it's like the contact is just like, you know, it's like it's not like the hardest contact, but it's like the cleanest contact. You know what I'm saying? It's like how it's like supposed to be. It's just like it's like the energy transfer is just like is like there. You like just transfer your energy like right through them. You know what I'm saying? And then they go limp. You can kind of feel the go limp off the strike. You know what I'm saying? Like and yeah, there's like, especially in front of people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, submissions are cool, but like, you land that shot, and like, they, once again, right? Not even just like they're buckled, not even like they cave and they go down to their knees and they cover up. But no, you like land that shot, and they on their whole body. Like, Takashi, his body went stiff. Gabe, his body went limp, but you land that shot, and it just like changes everything. You know what I'm saying? That's intoxicating. That is an intoxicating feeling. It's hard to describe that. You know what I mean? That's like one of those things where it's like, for lack of better term, it's kind of like saying? That's what I would put it up to. It's like how good it feels, you know what I'm saying? So
Damn, that's crazy though, because now I'm looking at it that way and I'm like, imagine like going into sex and being like, what if I
Oh shit.
Right, man. Let's take this time, man. I want you just to who you want to fight next, man. Let them know. Talk to them directly.
oof, man.
Ariel just hit me up. He was like, "Yo, get this clip of Bryan for me so I can post it on the show." So like, I told him I'd get it.
Man, who I want to fight next? I want to fight everyone from 1 to 15. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And like I said in the last one, like I'm not calling anyone out anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I love, like I've seen them all fight before. I love the idea of fighting each and every single one of them. And all I want to do is just, prove how good I am. You know what I'm saying? Show everyone, the whole fight community, the whole division, like what they're dealing with, what's coming for them. So, no one in particular. I don't want to fight anyone in particular. I just want to fight all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Pull up the roster.
Put them all, put them all on the list. You know what I'm saying? And we'll slowly we'll take out as many as I need to take out to like let the people know who the real champ is.
Yeah, let's go. Let's look through the hit list right now. I can't wait to see you fight Ian.
It should be. That's why I hope he wins. Like I don't want him to lose until I fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be that guy. You know what I mean? And if we fight each other, it's like I already know how I would do it too. I already like just watching them fight before, I know exactly how I would set it up. And a couple of different scenarios, but we'll tell you, I'm not gonna be fighting him anytime soon. And so when it comes, it'll come.
You don't want the smoke? Is that what you're saying? You don't want the smoke?
Listen, in his words, he takes a very diplomatic approach to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ranked. He is ranked. So why would he want to fight someone who is beneath him? You know what I'm saying? So I understand his reasoning to an extent. I also understand how convenient it is to use that when a man is looking you in your eyes and telling you he's gonna knock you out, and you don't want to deal with that shit. I understand. You know what I'm saying? So, one day, if I'm lucky, hopefully he doesn't lose. That's the biggest thing, because that's the thing I'm most concerned about. Someone's gonna expose before I can. There's a lot to expose. But fingers crossed he doesn't lose. And maybe in 2 fights I can get enough headway into the rankings to generate something that entices him into fighting, that makes the reward worth the risk. Because right now the reward isn't worth the risk.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying.
He knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
You're getting slept.
we got on the roster.
We got Renat Fakridinov.
Yeah.
Michael
That's the
Chiesa.
only guy I lost to.
Renat, I don't know who that is, to be honest.
He is Russian, and I fought him.
You fight him in the UFC?
Yeah, I fought him. That's how I'm 5-1. He's my 1. I fought him on 2 weeks' notice. It was crazy. Like I was just like fucking. It was like that was one of those things where like UFC shot. I said everything went right. Like everything was just like magical. Everything went right. That fight, literally, everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. It was just like you like to not be superstitious going into a fight, but you're like, fuck, dude. I'm not even in the right corner, like the corner I'm going. Like it was like took the fight on short notice against this Russian guy who his win streak extends longer than I'm the training. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't lost since 2013 at this point. You know what I'm saying? And but it was I understood. He was at double leg single. It's shit I've seen before. You know what I'm saying? 10 days out, I popped my knee, and so that was a big.
Damn, you took the shit on 2-week notice. 10 days out,
Or
you
days
popped your
in
knee.
media camp.
Yeah, and then I showed up in Vegas and I got really, really sick. So I actually was in the hospital the day before the fight because I was just so sick and I couldn't fucking drink anything, or else I was projectile vomiting it. So I barely made weight. Normally I get up to
low 90s before I fight. You know what I'm saying? This fight I was like mid 80s, and it was just like I said, like I didn't have the hand wrap guy that I normally have. We weren't in the little spot we were normally in. It was just like everything just wasn't happening the way that it was supposed to happen. And that's still was like, now granted, to be fair, I in theory got my ass whooped that fight. You know what I'm saying? I looked kind of like a one-legged fighter. Like he went in there and he did work. He got the takedowns. I just like I couldn't get up. And there was like, even when I was up, he did hit me with that was the other one. He dropped me with the right hand. That was once again he calmed me off balance. I was throwing a kick, throwing a naked kick. So we don't throw naked kicks. Threw a naked kick. He threw a counter right hand, fucking dropped my ass. And that was a big lesson because, like, to me, before that, this was coming off the head kick knockout. And so I just thought I like just ascended to a different level. Like I was like, if I can get to the cage, it doesn't matter what's going on in life. It doesn't matter what's going on with me. If I get to the cage, I'll fucking find a way to win the fight. And that's when I was kind of like, okay, we're not fighting regional dudes anymore. Like we're fighting the best dudes in the world. Like this dude was one of the best fighters in Russia. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to. You know, if you want to win fights, it's like you have to, you know, and there's certain times like I said, like right now, if I was in that same situation, like, I would still probably take that fight like this year, but I would take that fight after the lesson I learned last year, you know what I'm saying? It's like I would do things differently. And, yeah, so it's like now setting that motherfucker's right. You know what I'm saying? He went from that fight, like after that fight I got Gabe Breed. No one knows who Gabe Breed is. After that fight he got Kevin Lee. You know what I'm saying? Took out Kevin Lee. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, is that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
head kicked Lee? Kevin Lee?
No. That was another dude. He dropped him. He dropped him with the punch and then guillotined his ass. That was recently.
All right, who else is on this list? Who else is on? This is your hit list.
This is the hit list.
This is the hit list.
14, we got Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, Michael Chiesa, nice guy.
Yeah.
But I blew that off in the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Nice
Next,
guy. I do like Mike though. He's a nice guy.
You got Neil Magny at 13.
Neil Magny. Yeah, I don't even know him, so he's easy. That's easy. If I don't know you, I don't have any positive experience with you. Yeah, it's easy. Like fuck you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
After that, you got Kevin Holland, the big mouth.
Yeah, Kevin Hall. That'd be a fun fight. That'd be
would.
crazy, but I think I put.
You guys are huge. Both the.
Put his ass away.
Hell yeah.
Then knock him out or choke him out. One or the other, dude. I'm putting him away. I'm finishing one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Next is Jack Madalena.
Yeah, fuck.
I think he's too small for me, bro. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
You fucked that dude up.
Yeah.
He's got some hands, though.
No, dude, his boxing is sharp, dude. He's crispy. I had a chance to fight him back at the International Fight Week card. But they hit me up on a week's notice. I'm just telling you all this terrible experience. Last time I took a fight on 2 weeks. So I was like, fuck. And all night, all the wise men were like, no, that's not good. And I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to take it. And then my agent hit me back up. He's like, what about 2 weeks? I was like, fuck. I don't want to take it. I'm like, no, Ryan, don't. I mean, you're not fucking in any kind of like I was training, but I wasn't like training. So yeah, no, Jack Della Madalena, yeah, you can get it anytime.
Oh yeah.
You can get it anytime, bro.
Next, you got the Wagami.
yeah, another one.
You said the wag.
The Wagami.
The wag.
I don't know how I'm knocking him out. So
Eating Gary knockout.
yeah, I didn't know.
Bro, that's gonna be. I bet that's gonna be such a cool fight. I feel like as long as, like you said, he doesn't lose, like that'll be that fight that'll like make motherfuckers know.
Facts.
And it'd also just be good for like overall, like you know, as far as like Bryan Battle the business.
You know, dude, the hype, the brand, the clout. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things. Listen, you don't get that much attention unless people care about you. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting tore up, but he's only getting tore up because, you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, all this stuff that's happening would get people, like, burned anyways, but, like, the amount of burning that he's getting is only because he is, like, so infamous and well-known. So, yeah, dude, no, it's like, fucking, those are the fights you want, you know what I'm saying? You want to fight, you want to fight the people that people know, you know what I'm saying? So.
That's facts.
Back, take the ass. Who else?
Next is Sensei Luque.
Yeah.
I fight next week.
I would smoke him. He's too basic. He's too stiff, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got power, but he's too stiff.
Nothing special there. After that, you got Gio from Neil. Got some mitts on the
Nice guy. Nice guy. What's a nice guy. I like Jeff. I like Jeff a lot. But if we got a contract, you know, it is what it is. It's all business.
After that, you got Sean Brady.
Sean Brady, he's got like, dude, he's the one in Petrosky bit. Him and I feel like he's the welterweight Petrosky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a terrible matchup for him. Like, I would be surprised if he would. Like, once again, I don't think he would take a fight against me unless I was above him in the rankings. Like, because he knows what's up.
Facts.
The risk reward isn't there.
That's what sucks about once you get to the 15, you know?
Yeah.
This is just Mill Westbrook.
Yeah, for real.
It's like you want to.
Do you want to go up though, or you just want to stay here at this spot? You know,
Do you go up if you beat someone who's below? Like,
well, at the end of the day, activity is kind of
Right.
If you stay active, then you'll
you're gonna
like you'll move. It's ideally, you know, you want to fight someone who is higher than you in the rankings, but at the end of the day, like Sean Strickland, he got a title fight off of beating someone that was like in the rankings. He was just staying busy, staying active. You know what I'm saying?
And what, 2 losses before that or something?
Yeah. You got knocked out by Pereira. You got just, but a lot of people thought he won that decision against Jared Kennedy, and then I think he won a couple. I think he won at least 2.
He was being talked about until that Kennedy fight. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
After that, you got Stephen Thompson. And they missed the one.
I actually really well. I've trained a lot with him. That's like the one person who I actually like would want to fight. You know what I'm saying? If I had the choice, but if like my agent was like, "Hey, you want to fight Waterboy?" I'd be like, but he was like, he already signed the contract. I'd be like, all right, fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
But he is like I've worked with him, and it's like I would like to like continue to work with him. So it's like I don't want like, but once again.
He seems like the nicest UFC guy.
It's a fight game. Yeah, he's like a nice guy, but you can see when that flip gets switched.
For sure.
It's like a fucking killer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
it's like a persona.
get you to pull your guard down. You know, fucking. Like, the very first time I sparred with him, the first thing he hit me, he threw a jab, and I slipped it, and he kicked me in the head. First thing. First, like, literally, like, he didn't make any reads. Like, he threw a jab, I slipped the jab, he kicked me in the head. It was just like that, like 5 seconds. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would be a really entertaining fight. Like, that would be a fun fight, me and Wonder Boy. It'd be crazy as hell.
After that one, you got Shavkat. He's a fucking Shaw's a monster.
He's a
He's a monster.
How you taking out a Shavkat?
Dude. Different ways. But, you know, my boxing's better is like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, I think, like, the thing is with these, like, flag fighters, dude, people add extra on these guys. You know what I'm saying? They give these guys these mistakes that they don't deserve. They're humans. You know what I'm saying? They're just like me and you. You know what I'm saying? They come from a different place, but they're just like me and you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be any, like, way stronger. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you approach them like that, then it just changes the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you respect them? Yes, I respect you, but I'm not going to give you more respect than you deserve. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to out that fight. I feel like that's the problem with him. Like, I feel like Jeff fought him, but he was compromised in that fight. I don't think anyone's fought this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, really fought this motherfucker.
Right.
And that's another thing. It's like, I would love to be the first person. Now he's about to fight Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy's not gonna like fucking be a bitch. Like, that's gonna be a good fight. That'll be a good. What is the word? Litness? Is it litness or litness?
Is this me?
Litness touch. But
Litmus test?
Litmus test.
Are you trying to say how lit they are?
No. Okay. No. That's the
It's litmus
litmus
with an M.
with an M. Litmus test. Okay, there we go. She knows what I'm trying to say.
I like litmus.
But the thing is, I think the shot guy's just so big. Like that motherfucker. That's the reason I went down to welterweight. Like that motherfucker was my size. I saw him when I was fighting at middleweight, and it just bothered me. I was like, that motherfucker is literally my size. Like he might be a little bit bigger than me. He's fighting at welterweight. Fuck that dude. I need to go to welterweight. But yeah, no. And they had boxing up.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm excited for that shit. You got Gilbert Burns. We ain't seen him in a minute. He just got booked, I think.
I think they got him rumored with something. I don't think he has
That's right.
official. I think he got rumored with something. But yeah, then Gilbert's a legend, dude. But you know,
I feel like he's getting up there too.
yeah, he had his time. His time's over now. You know what I'm saying? We'll send him on his way. You know what I mean? So I was about that fight. You know what I mean?
Next, you got the bitch boy Colby Covington.
Colby Covington, man, that would be a crazy fight. Just because of his like go. But
His volume.
How tall is Colby?
He's not that.
Until
tall.
5'11".
Like I'm thinking about him next to you and be like, I feel like you're a lot bigger than him.
Yeah, no, I'm bigger than him.
I feel like you body.
I'm bigger than Kamaru. I've seen him in person. I'm bigger than him. I'm saying, and they're similar heights. I'm way bigger than Colby. There's like things like his thing is cardio and kind of like wearing people down. Like my thing is kind of also cardio. You know what I'm saying? Wearing people down. So that would be more so. It would be like a takedown thing. If he can get takedown and can get control time, that would be his avenue to victory. But like,
You slippy with them subs.
bro, come on, man. He's not gonna be able to control me. I'm not gonna not to.
Let's go. Next, we got
Oh fuck, dude. I'm knocking him out, dude. That's it.
That's the random number 2.
Like he's good, right? Like he's done what he's done, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like that shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
He's not working on nobody.
It's working on something.
I mean, he's made it up the race.
He dusted off Sean Brady in their last fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him credit where credit's due. That shit ain't working on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'm too much for him. You know what I'm saying? It would be competitive for a long time if I fought him. And a lot of these fights would be competitive for a long time. But with him, like especially we had 5 rounds, I think it'd be competitive for a while. But then I would start to take over just like too big and too strong. You know what I'm saying? Too aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see. We'll see if he's still fighting by the time I even get there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I don't. There's not a whole lot he does that really impresses me for real.
I hear you. Next, you got Usman, and then the champ.
Yeah. Usman, I mean, once again, I think his time is up.
And he's just out, bro.
Yeah, like I think he's not the same guy he was. Yeah, back in his reign. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pre-Leon, bro. I feel like after that Leon fight, then shit changed.
Yeah, like obviously he's still like solid. You know what I'm saying? He arguably beat fucking Hamzat in a fight. You know what I'm saying? They had a competitive fight, but yeah, he's not what he was. You know.
I feel like, even it's kind of like the opposite of like you know how like you started, like one of the first experiences you had in the cage, you got knocked out.
Yeah.
And he went so far, got so high, then like that happened. And I feel like now it's like he's just too far gone, like trying to deal with that,
Oh, and there's two is like, what is the motivation for him at this point?
He's already touched the top.
He's done everything.
There for a
You know
while.
what I'm saying?
He was a fight or two away from like actually being considered one of the greatest welterweights ever. He was gonna get into the boxing after, and then one fight changed it all.
Well, it's like, it's like in the status, the money, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's already got an arse. Like to have to rebuild all the way back from like where he is right now to back to where he was. Like I don't think he's got that in his body. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe fight for a title again, but yeah, I think his time's up. You know what I'm saying? He's still like he's still incredible. He's still a specimen, you know what I'm saying? He's still Kamaru Usman, but, he's not Kamaru Usman at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So, if we fought, that'd be fun. That'd be crazy. That'd be so crazy. That'd be like one of those weird things just like, I can't believe I fucking fight Kamaru Usman. That's crazy as hell.
For real.
I feel like he's retiring soon.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Yeah. Gotta be. That's what I'm saying. I don't see why he would stay in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But if he wants to pass the torch, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for it.
His last fight was Hamzat.
Yeah, but then he go up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how
So
does
it makes him weird. Yeah.
Well, he's a middleweight now, but he's really a welterweight.
I bet you the only fight Usman really wants is against McGregor. It's probably what all he would stay around for, try to get another money fight.
Yeah, he's not getting out of McGregor at all. That's not happening. That's not happening. No way.
Yo, but I think we got to fight McGregor.
That would be crazy. He is talking about like he's got all that. I mean, he lost a lot of weight. Last time I saw him, he ramped up significantly. But he's talking about welterweight, and it's like that would be unbelievable. That would really just be like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what world are we living in? Because I know I would beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like once again, his time's up. You know what I'm saying? Not only is his time up, like he's already done it. You know what I'm saying? He won. He was the double champ. He's got all the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, obviously he still has ability, but like that eye of the tiger, like it's not there. You know what I'm saying? He's not a killer anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why it would just be so crazy to get that fight, because it'd be like, wow, I'm really gonna get to whoop Conor McGregor's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy as hell. And then like that would like be the easiest, like 100,000. 500,000 followers, however many followers he's got on Instagram, just like cut it in half and give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be like, you talking about perception, like just if people who know me alone, like fighting Conor, maybe it would just like so yeah, that'd be crazy. That would be wild. That would be really, really wild. Like
That would be fucking sick.
that'd be so fucking crazy.
I mean, how imagine they did that shit in Charlotte?
Oh my.
Oh, fuck. I don't think they could. You think they could? You think that arena could hold that many people?
Which arena?
When you fought him.
They don't look McGregor not at MSG, let's be real, but yes.
Yeah.
You would fill the fucking place out. No doubt about it.
Well, how many people can the Spectrum Center hold, actually? At like full capacity.
I had to guess 30s. It's not huge, but it's a pretty big.
I mean, I think 30, that's enough. That's enough. I don't know why Conor McGregor would ever fight North Carolina. Just saying, like, unless like in some
You would have to be
somewhere,
champ.
I would have to be the champ.
You gotta
But if that is, bro, that's how you want to fight McGregor. You want them paperboy points.
It's facts. No, you ain't lying about that, dude. You are not lying about that. Fuck, dude. Those pay-per-view points. That's gotta be crazy. Like, it's gotta be like when you get pay-per-view points, it's like, that's just gotta be like a whole nother level of like massive amounts of money. I don't know. I shouldn't say massive amounts of money, but that's, it's like you fight. You get used to it, and then you get pay-per-view points. You're like, God damn. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he gets pay-per-view points as long as he fights in general.
No, he's like there's a few people who do,
Yeah.
and Jorge Oswald was like that too.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Hey, shout out
They
her.
made a belt for him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dog. I miss that guy.
He was the guy. He got hot. And then just
I wish he got hot a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
Right at the expiration date.
Yeah, because he went downhill fast.
Mm-hmm. Usman slept that boy.
Yeah. There's never the same after that.
Well, I mean, what? It was after the Ben Askren fight where he really started popping off. No,
100%.
yeah.
Fastest knockout in UFC history.
But it helped because before that, he knocked out Darren Till.
Yep, and he was on the rise too.
Yeah, Darren Till was hot shit. So he knocked out Darren Till in England. And that's how he got the Ben Askren fight. And then you combine all that, and it was like, boom, Ben Askren. Then he's got that fight behind that, and it's like, boom. And then
They put him on the UFC cover.
Nick Diaz, yeah.
Did that?
Yeah.
Him and Izzy. They say that's the curse, though.
It is, bro. Check the lineage.
Yeah. I mean, for real, though, I mean, especially in that fucking game, especially since EA Sports is taking over, because it's like, it was on like John Jones and Gustafson. And John Jones is bounced back, but he had a lot of bad shit happen after that. And then it was,
Pierre was on one of those too, and he lost afterwards, wasn't it?
who?
George St. Pierre.
He never lost.
Yeah, he did.
Not since Matt Hughes back. No, Matt Sarah was the last person he lost to.
Which one did he get knocked out in?
It was he
Matt
lost
Serra.
the belt.
Like, not recently.
No.
No, he lost the belt way. He wasn't on the UFC cover. They didn't have to.
Okay. So maybe I'm tripping out on the person.
That's what I was like. No, because like the EA ones, like I don't think the THQ ones, those were really cursed. The EA ones have been really cursed because it was Jones Gustafson, it was Ronda McGregor. Who was the third one? Who was the UFC team? Was it just McGregor on the third one? It might have been just McGregor on the third one. I think it was just McGregor. And then UFC 4 was Stylebender and Ora. And not a damn good thing is happening about those motherfuckers.
Because
Bro, I can't believe what's happening with Izzy. Not even what's happening, but it's just like, man, this being an Izzy fan is there's a lot of highs and lows.
Yeah, the dog shit was weird. The dog stuff. I wanted to.
It was hard to like. I was like, yeah, like you're my boy, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you not like? All right, it's weird to do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Why do you record it?
Yeah, facts.
And like post like, bro. Oh no.
No, it's like there's gotta be some like New Zealand humor that we just like don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gotta be like
some weird island shit.
yeah, that we just don't understand. Cause it's like everything you just said is spot on. Like not only did he do it, but they he recorded it. Not only did he record it, but he posted it on social media, like where people can like easily access. Like
that makes sense though, that New Zealand humor, because like they're not too far from Australia, and they be like drinking out of anybody's shoe and like
dude, they got a thing. Volcos, they got this thing. I forget what they call it, but they'll like point their shit up and pee in the air and like drink their pee like that. So serious, dude.
I mean, they got a little water out there. I mean, you gotta stay hydrated. You got it out in the middle.
The thing is, that does sound crazy, but I'm like, damn, I feel like if a bunch of like them were doing it, like they just think that shit's normal. And then now, like the shit that Izzy did, I'm like, yeah, he's just on another side of the world. Like,
Dude, I mean, that's you know what I'm saying.
I just don't get it.
But cultures are different. Perspective, dude. It's all perspective. You know what I'm saying?
There, man.
Perception is reality. You know?
You go over there, you go in your friend's house. There's just fucking waking his dog.
Dude,
Bro, that was all right. He didn't full on, you know. He wiggled it.
he was touching it.
Well, that was too much.
His dog was very calm about it.
And it killed me too. Cause
That's why people were getting him, because they're like, you know, he does this. This is normal behavior.
yeah. After the dog fight, he was like, "Don't talk about my dog." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Bro, you can't tell him what to do after he just beat you in a fight." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you lost your like you should have like whooped his ass. And you didn't tell him what to do. Where you can't tell him what to do right now, dude. Like, he just beat you in a fight. Right? You guys didn't see that thing where Tony? You know Tony Soto?
Tony Soto.
He's another bare knuckle boxer in the area. And he had a fight where this guy, he had what do you call the dogs that come and they're there to help people? Service dog. I think it might have just been a regular dog. I think it was a service, but it might have just been a regular dog. And he was up there. His opponent brought his dog. It was like shit. He was like, "I'm gonna fuck your dog."
That's another thing. You gotta watch the whole thing, dude. He's like, I'm gonna fuck your dog. And it was like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, huh? And then, like, he had the fight. He beat the guy. He TKO'd him and then took a picture of the dog afterwards. I was like,
You took a picture of the dude's dog?
yeah.
How do you get the dude's dog?
I don't know.
First off, why would that dude let him anywhere near?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, get away from me. Oh, you can't take a fucking picture with my dog.
That's
Some fucking animal.
I hope you found a like identical dog. I hope you didn't.
Yeah, I think you actually went to the picture and both of his dog.
That's fucking nuts. Whoever had his dog's an asshole for letting that happen.
They weren't stopped for.
Yeah.
Just beat them in.
These dogs are safe out here. These spiders, man. The spiders are out here looking at these dogs like they're like some flying hunters, you know what I'm saying? Like, these dogs aren't safe out here. Protect your dogs. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, man. Ryan, appreciate you for coming out today. Appreciate the pod.
Good pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Follow our mans on what? All the socials, everything.
All the socials, mainly Instagram, Bryan Battle 68, and Twitter, Bryan Battle 10. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, appreciate all the love all the fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.
Later, everybody.